All right, everyone, I call to order this meeting of the 34th City Council for July 15, 2025 at 7 p.m. I request that everybody in the audience please silence your cell phone or communications devices not to disturb the meeting. And those that have seats next to you, if you don't mind, try to scoot one over and make sure there's an open seat for people that are standing in the aisle. So, and then people that are standing, just be conscious against the walls. There is lights on the switches. Yep, young man. Yeah, just be careful. There's light switches on both sides of the walls. Just not to shut them out. We don't want to go dark. Okay? Just to keep in mind, too, for the meeting, the protocol, and we have these comment cards. All the comments that are regarding an item of business will be addressed at that particular item as it comes up. So we do have a public comment for 30 minutes before the meeting starts, and then unlimited time one at the end. The ones regarding an item that we have regarding short-term rentals will be reserved, and I will call you in order once that item is before the council, which will be on the agenda, and there is some agendas here, okay? And just keep in mind, we do not tolerate any outbursts from the crowds or any screaming or chanting at all. And just keep in mind, we want to be heard. We're your public servants, and we want to hear you. In order to hear you, we have to run an orderly meeting, and that's the way we do things. So you want to be heard, you will be heard, and we will make sure that you are heard, okay? So just make sure you acknowledge by either filling out a card or raise your hand to be acknowledged once an item is before us, okay? Thank you all for understanding. Mr. Clerk, can we please have the roll?
Yes, Councilmember Enos.
Here.
Councilmember Hammoud.
Here.
Councilmember Abraham.
Here.
Councilmember Paris. Councilmember El Sawafi.
Here.
Councilmember Herrick.
Here.
Council President Sereni.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. At this time, I'd like to turn the meeting over to Councilmember Kamal El-Swafi.
Thank you, Council President. It is my honor to introduce Pastor Ryan Wilson of Dearborn Free Methodist Church, who will deliver tonight's invocation. I invite all who are able to please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's pray. Gracious and sovereign God, we come before you this evening with gratitude for the city we call home, Dearborn. Thank you for the beauty of its diversity, the strength of its neighborhoods, the creativity of its people, and the commitment of those who serve it. Tonight, Lord, we lift up our mayor and our council members as they take up the responsibility, again, of leadership. Give them clarity of mind and courage of heart as they listen, deliberate, and decide. May they do so with integrity, humility, and compassion for every resident, from the newly arrived immigrant to the lifelong neighbor. Lord, you have shown us what is good. As the prophet Micah declared, what does the Lord require of you? To act justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with your God. May this be the standard that shapes every conversation tonight. May justice guide our policies, mercy fill our responses, and humility lead us all forward, side by side, not as opponents, but as neighbors. You see the needs in our city. God, those seeking opportunity, those burdened by worry, and those working tirelessly to make our community better. Be near to the small business owner striving to grow. Be near to our first responders and educators who carry deep responsibility. And be near to every child dreaming of a hopeful future in this place. Bless the work being done to expand affordable housing, to improve public safety, and to care for our parks, and to create spaces where all can thrive. Where there is division, bring unity. Where there is confusion, bring clarity. Where there is apathy, stir purpose. Remind us, Lord, that good governance is not just about policies, it's about people. May every decision tonight be made to serve the flourishing of all who call Dearborn home. And may this council be not known only for what they accomplish, but for how they lead with compassion and openness and with justice. Cover this meeting with your peace. Guard it from distraction, derailment, or division. Let this room be marked by mutual respect, shared vision, and a deep desire to build something better together. And when tonight's work is finished, may each person leave with the quiet confidence that they were part of something good, something that made a difference. And in your name we pray, amen.
pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor. All right, Mr. Clerk, can we have the first item of business?
Item number 4, resolution by Council President Sereni, supported unanimously, acknowledging Judge Miriam Saad Bazi for her milestone appointment as the first Arab American Muslim to be appointed to the Michigan Court of Appeals and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Yes, this citation was hand-delivered by myself and the mayor to Judge Saad Bazi, Miriam Saad Bazi, made history as the first Arab American woman to be appointed to the Michigan Court of Appeals. She was a member of our Dearborn School Board. She was appointed by Governor Snyder to Wayne County Circuit Court approximately 10 years ago, and was recently appointed by Governor Whitmer to the Michigan Court of Appeals. She's a great lady, a community and Dearborn person. If people know Saad Meats, very popular meats. Yeah, there's a good, we got a picture of it right there. Saad Meats is a well-known, established food center in Detroit and in the surrounding areas, and that's her family's. And Judge Bazi is a personal friend of mine. This was a tremendous honor. I know a lot of people had a chance to attend this, but you know, it has something to say when you're appointed by the governor of that. One is Republican and the one is Democrat, which it shows you that Judge Bazi's been able to reach across all aisles, and it's a tremendous honor. So we wanted to make sure this was recognized, and it was given to her at the event. Any questions or comments on this? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Item 5, resolution by Council President Sereni, supported unanimously, recognizing the extraordinary bravery and swift action of firefighters Matthew Ziarko, Michael Schrum, and Sarah Sheehan, who were instrumental in saving the life of a 1-year-old child, and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Today we proudly recognize extraordinary bravery and swift action of firefighters Matthew Ziarko, Michael Schrum, and Sarah Sheehan, with historic efforts to save a life of a 1-year-old child. In a moment when every second matters, your action under pressure, expert training, and unwavering dedication amplifies the very best of the Dearborn Fire Department. Your decisiveness response brought immediate relief to a family and prevented what could have been a tragic outcome. This life-saving intervention was a powerful reminder of courage, readiness, and the vital role of first responders play every single day to our community. On behalf of the entire Dearborn community and the 34th Dearborn City Council, we extend our deepest gratitude for your professionalism and your compassion. And Chief, I know you're here. We'd like you to come up and make a couple statements, and we'd like the firefighters to come up. For the people watching at home and people here in the audience, here in the council, a lot of times we're passing budgets and dollar amounts, and everything is really theoretical. Some of us that have been in tragic situations know that it's your training and it's your ability to act. Myself, once when I was younger, thought I was moving and didn't even move from froze because of a situation was so tragic. These things happen. The difference is we have people in the city of Dearborn and the Dearborn Police Department that acted. And I can't thank you all enough. Chief?
Thank you, Council President. Fire Chief Joe Murray here. First off, I want to say I'm so proud of my men and women of the Dearborn Fire Department. I've been out the last few weeks giving out department awards. Over the last 3 months, we've had so many complicated, technical, very stressful situations and incidents that these men and women have been dealing with, and doing a phenomenal job, from trauma, EMS to fire. So everyone in the department's been doing a great job. I know the council and the mayor were made aware of this particular call, and I wanted to thank you for hosting us today, and we wanted to recognize these firefighters. We have Sarah Sheehan, Michael Schrum, and Matt Ziarko. On June 4th, 2025, they responded to Mildred Street, a close neighbor of mine actually, for a 1-year-old that was reportedly choking. So upon arrival, Rescue 2 and Engine 2 arrived in 4 minutes, and they found that this child was having a severe trouble breathing. We later found out that there was a grape stuck in the child's throat, but the child was unresponsive, very limp, and the firefighters got to work right away to do everything they could to help this child. So from back blows to chest blows. The child continued to decompensate, weren't able to get this grape out of their throat. Took them to the rescue, continued to work on them while they were transported all the way, or going downtown to Children's Hospital to try to get some relief for this child. And throughout that time, they continued their efforts nonstop, back blows, chest blows, using the laryngoscope to try to locate. We have some forceps that we try to remove this. As you know, babies have big, chubby tongues, and it's very tough sometimes when they get stuff stuck in their throat to maneuver around tongues and things like that. It's real easy to get stuff stuck in there. So it's a very stressful situation, and they work very hard to do it. Eventually, as in the route downtown, they were able to get the laryngoscope to get the tongue out of the way far enough where they just kind of caught a glimpse of the grape and were able to sweep it out of the mouth very quickly. And the child instantly started crying, color came back, and obviously they continued to care for the child. Got the child to the hospital, and the child is making an outstanding full recovery. So,
Excellent, excellent.
But I'm joined here with Battalion Chief Scott Stockinger, Assistant Chief Schroeder, and our EMS coordinator, Greg Smith. Everybody was very proud of these crews. We wanted to publicly acknowledge them. I did.
Yeah, we're gonna come down and get a quick photo with in front of them, so I appreciate it. But you had
Absolutely.
something yourself that you're passing on as well.
Yeah, I'm just going to give these to them as well during the photo. But we did speak with the father of the child today. Very grateful, very thankful for our first responders. So we just wanted to take a moment to
And
recognize
full recovery, of course, right?
Full recovery.
Excellent. All right, we're gonna come down from the council and get a quick photo with you guys. Thank you. Gary, I'm going to switch over to you. Yep. I know he's not here, but we have the chief. All right. Thanks for that brief intermission. Again, thank you all. This is what makes Dearborn Dearborn, obviously, Chief, so I know you had some more things you'd like to add. Go ahead.
I did, real quick. Thank you, Council President. I just want to recognize, too, one of the firefighters that were awarded, Sarah Sheehan, today.
Yeah.
She is actually a second-generation firefighter. Her father, Captain Jim Sheehan, just walked out of here. He was actually my captain for many years.
All right.
So you can blame him for me. So
No.
that's Jim Sheehan.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. We have, it's a great story, Chief. We're going to have to look into that, our council. We have several generations of officers and firemen throughout the city of Dearborn. It's always great when you run into them, and I know your dad, or your mom, so it's a great thing. Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Item number 6, resolution by Councilmember Eno, supported unanimously, acknowledging Mr. Pat Wizzer-Wyckoff for his longtime dedication to Dearborn wrestling and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. We are honored to recognize Pat Wizzer-Wyckoff, a true incredible career, remarking unwavering dedication and passion and commitment to the sport of wrestling. His nomination to a Lifetime Service to Wrestling Award by the Michigan Chapter of National Wrestling Hall of Fame is both remarkable and well-deserved. We want to congratulate Mr. Whizzer. Is that short for him?
That's a wrestling term.
Wrestling term, okay.
Wrestling
I'm going to
move,
pass
wrestling
this
move.
over to Councilman Enos, who has brought this forward for the council. Councilman Enos.
Congratulations on an incredible career filled with dedication, passion, and commitment. The impact and contributions you've made to wrestling in Dearborn, in addition to the mentorship you provided to students, is incomparable. Your coaching style is truly unlike any other, and we are so proud to witness the deep influence you have had on both the athletic world and community. Your induction for the Lifetime Service to Wrestling Award by the Michigan Chapter of the National Wrestling Hall of Fame is remarkable and well-deserved. Your legacy you've created, along with your spirit and drive, will continue to inspire future generations of wrestlers and coaches for years to come. Congratulations, Coach Wyka. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Coach Wyka was sent his regards, was unable to be here, but Councilman Enos will deliver that personal note. Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Item 7, resolution by Council President Pro Tem Herrick, supported unanimously, acknowledging longtime part-time theater staff member Bernie Herm for her decades of dedication, creativity, and support of the Dearborn Youth Theater and other programs at the Michael A. Guido Theater, and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. We're proud to extend our heartfelt recognition and deepest gratitude to Bernie Herm for her remarkable dedication, creativity, and unwavering support to the Dearborn Youth Theater and at the Michael A. Guido Theater. And Councilwoman Herrick had brought this forward. Councilwoman?
Thank you, Council President. Bernie is here today with some of her family and longtime friends who have been involved with the, the Michael A. Guido Theater over the years. I've known Bernie for probably 15 years now, and we met in the theater box office when she was doing one of the many things she does for the theater, whether it's building sets, crafting costumes, finding the perfect props, or even baking treats for the cast and the crew. Bernie is always the first to lend a helping hand. Her countless hours of personal time and genuine care have left a lasting impression on our young performers, as well as her colleagues and other volunteers at the theater, and have been essential to the success of every production with which she's been affiliated. Bernie, your extraordinary commitment has made you an invaluable part of the theater family, and we thank you for everything you do to help our youth shine. So thank you for being here with your family today. And on a personal note, I can't say enough for what you've done to support me and encourage me in the things that I've been doing over the years that we've known each other. So thank you again for all that you've done for Dearborn.
All right, excellent. Okay, at this time, we're going to have the council come down and get a quick photo, and then we'll go on to the next item. So Ms. Herman and her family, if she'd like to come forward. We have the citation.
Here we go, in front of the podium.
All right, let's go with that. Family, would you guys want to come up? Yeah.
Yeah, behind you. Come on now.
Ready?
There are plenty of other people in the city who are doing the same thing, backstage workers, and I think we need to appreciate people behind the scenes that we aren't always aware of. And that's what makes Dearborn, changes from the city of Dearborn to the community of Dearborn. It makes us.
Absolutely. Well said. Thank you. Well said, well said. Any objection to unanimous roll? Hearing none, unanimous roll should be attached. Before we go to the next item, I would like to have a motion to suspend the rules to bring item 45 to the front.
Motion.
Motion was made by Councilman Al Swafi, supported by Councilman Hammoud. Any objection to unanimous roll? Okay, unanimous roll should be attached. The rules are suspended. Mr. Clerk, can we please move to item 45?
Yes, item 45 is resolution by council members Hammoud and El Sawafi approving the intergovernmental agreement between the Charter County of Wayne and the city of Dearborn for improvements to various parks throughout Dearborn, subject to review by the legal department, also authorizing the mayor to execute the agreement on behalf of the city and authorizing the finance director to recognize and appropriate the $127,669 Wayne County Parks millage allocation in the General Capital Improvement Fund, Project I-26603, Neighborhood Park Playground Equipment, and Project I-29724, Park Bench Replacements, and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. The city of Dearborn has been awarded a total of $127,669 from the Wayne County Parks Millage Fund for 24-25 fiscal year. These funds are made available through the county's ongoing commitment to enhance recreational spaces that will be used to targeted improvements in our parks and facilities throughout the city. This funding will be used to improve a playground in Cherry Hill Park and to upgrade benches located around pavilions, playgrounds, sports courts, athletic fields, and in the parks of Snowwoods neighborhood. It's being requested that the mayor be authorized to sign and execute this intergovernmental agreement to the Wayne County and to be appropriated by the finance director. We do have our Wayne County Commissioner, Sam Baydoun, here today. Mr. Baydoun, if you'd like to step forward. We wanted to thank you for this allocation.
Good evening. Thank
Good
you,
evening.
Council President, council members, mayor, Mr. Clerk. I guess I dressed down for the occasion. Just went
Okay.
home and changed my suit. It was too hot. As you mentioned, Council President, I have allocated over $127,000 this year from the Parks millage money. $100,000 is going to the Cherry Hill Park, which is west of Military. Much needed improvement there. And over $27,000 towards the benches around the playgrounds, sports courts, athletic fields in the Snowwoods neighborhood. And as you can see, that's what it's going to look like on
Yes,
the Cherry
excellent.
Hill Park there west of Military. So I'm very committed to the improvement of all of our parks. I will do my part with the mayor, of course. It's a teamwork, and thank you for the opportunity. While I'm here, I just want to introduce my legislative director, Ola Al-Bayati, who's here with me. She's does an amazing job for me at Wayne County. Thank
Excellent. Nice to meet you. So we need her cell phone number then.
you. Yes.
All right.
Hi, my name is Ola Bayati. I'm honored to serve as Commissioner Baydoun's new legislative director. I'm excited to be working at Wayne County and to be working with all of you. I'm more than happy to share my business cards if you'd like to reach me directly. Thank you, and I
Thank
look
you so
forward to
much.
working with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll pass them down. Thank you so much. Yes, Mayor?
So I want to just publicly acknowledge our Wayne County Commissioner, Sam Baydoun.
Is it on?
You know, over the last several years, I don't know if it's on or not.
It's not.
It's not.
There you go. Is it on?
No.
Nope. Has Mike given up?
There you
Yeah,
go.
There we go. Over the last several years, we've worked closely with our county commissioner to receive a record number of grants and funding towards the investment of our parks all across the city. The picture you saw before you of Cherry Hill Park, That park investment alone represents something north of $270,000, in addition to the other investments we're making in parks across the city. So of the $270,000, we got a strong allocation from Wayne County for roughly 1.25, which was great and significant. Additionally, I think we have another park that'll be on the agenda in a few weeks, or if it hasn't already been approved, Argyle Williamson, which we're really thrilled and excited about, which is over off of Ford Road, east of Schaefer. So just want to thank you, Commissioner. Thank you to your team. Thank you for the continued support and collaboration.
Absolutely. Councilman El Sawadi.
Thank you, Council President. I just want to echo what the mayor said. Commissioner Baidoon has been a steadfast advocate for the city of Dearborn and a public servant. Along with Ola, they've been excellent. Whenever I had a question, I sent it to the county. They respond right away. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. For myself, the Cherry Hill Park is very personal to me. I lived directly, my backyard was connected to it. Although you couldn't cut a hole to get in, I had to go around. I know we had to do that. But for my kids for 10, 12 years, it's truly a gem, a real community park, and definitely needed some upgrades. There's a lot of activities for the Neighborhood Association and the Riverbend Association there. So I can't thank you enough, Commissioner Baidoon. And so that people do know, the county is a tremendous partner for us. Without the executive and our county commissioner, the funding that we do get a lot of times through grants and through the government has to come through Wayne County. We have to have that partnership with them. And as you see around, as the mayor indicated, the parks around the city that are being redone, $20 million of that money came from the county and the state. So again, Commissioner Baidoon, thank you so much for your continued leadership. Thank you. Any objection to, Councilman Hammoud?
Well, everyone else got to thank Commissioner Baidoon. I wanted to take a chance to also thank him, but just one question for the mayor based on the renderings that I saw. It looked like it's going to be an ADA accessible park just based on the renderings. Could we talk a little more about that?
Yeah, yours is on.
No, it's not.
Off.
He must
Oh,
have
you
turned it on.
yeah, you got to
We have a
don't
new
turn it
mic
off.
system.
New mic system. Okay.
Perfect. So as we have started doing first with Morningside Park in the south end, we've begun to eliminate the wood or chip or the gravel setting that we have across playscapes and begun to put in the accessible turf and the accessible play and pour surfaces. You saw this at the inclusive playscapes that have now been built across Crowley, Ford Woods, and Lapeer Park. You see this now at Morningside, Wyoming Gold, the other park that we just completed, Arthur Bazzi, and now you'll see it also at Cherry Hill Park and Argyle Williamson once complete. And so our goal is that it costs a little bit more. In fact, if the equipment costs $125,000, you have to spend $125,000 on the flooring. And so it's equal to the cost of the equipment. But we think it provides a little greater accessibility, ensuring that children of all needs can come together and play at a park near them.
And absolutely, and Mayor, we also did do an analysis on that as well, compared to the wood chips and the cost of upkeep, that it really does not save us much money. This is actually the future, and isn't that correct?
Correct. We eliminate the annual maintenance on the
Right.
gravel and wood chip setting, and these turfs and play and pours tend to have over a 20-year lifespan, assuming nobody tries to forcefully dig it up, which I'm not encouraging anybody to do.
Well, I'll tell you, in the East Park, I thought that the chess piece might get pulled up a few times, but they have not moved, so we're in good
We
shape.
filled them with cement.
Oh, okay. That'll do it.
That helps.
Because somebody did try taking them.
All right, thank you for that, and thank you again, Commissioner Baidoon. Any other questions or comments? Any objection to unanimous roll? Okay, unanimous roll should be attached. Okay, Mr. Clerk, will we return to the regular council agenda?
Yes. And the next
Next item.
is public comment at 7:32.
All right, 7:32. Quick reminder to everyone wanting to address the council on an item that's before the council. We're going to have that once the item comes. We'll address you based on that card. If you're here to speak to the council regarding any other city business, please fill out a comment card or just acknowledge by raising your arm, and I'll make sure we recognize you. We do have two comment cards that are unrelated to an item, and we will begin there. So we have Sherry and John Ludwin? Okay. Ma'am, would you like to step forward? And just a kind reminder, name and address for the record, and you have a 3-minute time limit. The clerk will let you know when there's 30 seconds remaining.
Yes.
All right,
Hi.
thank you.
We live at 6010 Yinger, and I'm Sherry Lodwig, and this is John Lodwig. And we wanted to talk about the speed bumps that we need put on Donald by the park, by Ford Woods Park, because that stop sign gets ran constantly. They use that as a racetrack, and we are tired of it.
Donald is a complete, from Greenfield to Schaefer, it's wide open. I know you have to cross Chase, but from Greenfield to Chase, it's just a stop sign. And so
Okay.
many people just, it's not safe. And the pool is right there. We live right in that neighborhood. We watch it every day, and I'm just holding my breath for the children.
Well, we agree.
Barefoot kids, little, you know, across that street all the time. It's just really dangerous. That's the place where we really need a couple of speed
Well,
bumps.
thank you so much. We do appreciate that, and I know the mayor's listening. I know he might want to chime in. But I want to let you know, the council's been committed to this. We've been funding these. As you see, obviously, the mayor and the administration's main objective in the beginning was to surround the school areas
Yep.
and then to branch out on areas specifically like yours that have long runs. I live on Brady, and we did put one over there as well, too, because of the long run. So, Mayor, would you like to speak on this aspect?
Yeah, we've set down, I think, the first 50 sets, which is a little bit more than just 50 speed humps. And I know some of the supplies that we needed have now come in to install. We still have a lot more to install.
Yep.
And we are targeting all the major parks across the city. So I'll flag Donald Street and pass that on to our Public Works team, who works closely with our police department to get these out.
Yeah, and we do appreciate that you guys live there. I mean, I know we all live in the city, but you being there on a daily basis to see it, we do understand it. And believe me, it does matter that you came
Every
forward. We do
once in a
appreciate
while, a police officer will sit there. We always go out and offer them water and coffee because we just love to see them in our neighborhood.
That's right, that's
We
right.
invite you anytime, please.
Any
Stop
donuts?
by, we'll feed you.
You give him any donuts? No donuts? All right.
And also,
Yes, ma'am.
the Assura, is that how you say it?
Ashura, yes.
The thing they had last Sunday
Yes.
was absolutely appalling.
Okay.
They parked in front of our driveway. They blocked my garage. We couldn't get in. We couldn't get in or out. People were parking down the street. He has got a bad heart. If emergency had to come to get him, he would have died. You couldn't get in or out. It was absolutely terrible.
was pretty
And then
bad.
when you talk to the people that park in front of your driveway, they give you the finger and they swear at you.
Well, it's getting bigger and bigger, which is wonderful.
And they
That's-
closed Ford Road
that's a
down. My
great-
girlfriend couldn't even get to my house.
It's a great thing, but it's getting bigger.
Right.
It didn't used to be quite this bad, but we had 8 cars in our alley. We have an alley that goes halfway through because it's alley access garages. We had 8 cars in our alley. I mean, that's the way we get in and out of the house.
Right.
They blocked the driveway. They just, they treat it as a
And we
parking
have complained
space.
about it before, and nothing has gotten done.
Well, okay,
Nothing.
All right, hang on. The address is, what was the address again? 61?
6010
We're
Yinger.
6010.
So 6010. Okay, so
But
let
it
me
would
just
be-
tell you.
It would be very simple to move the event to the park that they have downtown where there's acres and acres of parking. The only parking in that park over there is just that little area,
Address.
Right.
about 45 or 50 parking spaces, it's just not enough parking. So the rest, and I don't blame the people, they have to park someplace, and they park blocks and blocks and blocks away. They're coming down there with their families. It's not convenient for them either.
Well, we do appreciate that feedback. I can tell you, we've had this complaint on a different issue before, but we are very clear that, breaking the law is not okay at any time. So blocking a driveway is not allowed whatsoever. Did you contact the police about blocking
Yeah.
the driveway?
Yeah, we did, yes.
It's
we did.
happened
We
3 or
talked to
4 years in a row, and one cop told me, he said, well, I'll give them a ticket, but they're going to throw it out. That's exactly what he said.
Well, all I'm saying is this event is getting bigger, and it's fine. It's wonderful to have.
No, I
But
understand.
that's not the right place to have it anymore because it's too big. It's just too much. You wouldn't want to have, what's her name, the big popular lady to do a concert in that
Swift.
park because there's no place to park the cars. That's what I'm saying.
Why don't they
Well,
have it
it's
at, why don't-
noted, so,
why
I
don't
mean.
they have it at Ford,
I did say that.
Ford Field?
I said.
Yeah, well, we appreciate the fact, I mean, there is things that do outgrow, and it's something we will definitely have to look at. But I also will have our executive secretary take this information, and I know the mayor has taken it down, and we will speak with the police to find out, because we've had this in the past on other events. Blocking driveways is never okay. They should be immediately towed.
And the alleys, too.
Yes, because those are service
Thank you.
rights away, so we do appreciate you letting us know.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Hamud?
Just on speed bumps, because we did address this at COW. So we did get a good grant from the state through State Rep Alabas Farhat, and we've been provided additional funding. But just for individual residents who are looking for speed bumps, I think, and the mayor can also speak to this, but I'll say my understanding, which is we started first with schools, next we're prioritizing parks, and then we're going down to, kind of those individual needs. I think in your case, you are directly adjacent to Ford Woods Park, so that is kind of higher on the priority list. But for people who are listening at home, we are taking those things into consideration. We are getting more money from various other elected officials who can provide it for us, but it's going to take more time to kind of work through those things.
Thank you, Councilman. All right, the next card we have is for Ramsey. Yes, sir, thank you. I can't pronounce this, sir. Someone. All right, and just a quick reminder, sir, just your name and address for the record, and there's a 3-minute time limit, and the clerk will let you know when there's 30 seconds. Go ahead, sir.
Ramsey Semois, resident of Dearborn, 401 South Lafayette. I'm a planning commissioner and environmental commissioner, but I'm speaking on a topic completely unrelated to the agenda items tonight, just so we're clear. This is on the topic of the genocide happening in Syria against the Druze community. For those that don't know who the Druze are, because I would be surprised if a lot of people knew. It's an ethno-religious group. There's about 1 million people worldwide. Half of them live in Syria, in a province, southern Syria, called Sueda. And there's a lot of Druze in this community that have connections to that area. As of yesterday, I sent a letter to Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib detailing the atrocities against the Druze people in Syria. Yesterday, there was 30 people dead. Without getting too political, it's basically extremist groups tied to the government of the new government of Syria, who have been invading villages in Sueda. They killed 30 people yesterday, 300 plus injured. Today it's over 100 as of an hour ago. It's continuing. They're killing our sheikhs, which is our version of an imam or a priest. They're killing women and children, people unrelated to any war effort or any kind of situation like that. So the reason I brought it to your attention as the council and the mayor is it's my obligation to, as a Druze, as a person representing the Dearborn Druze community, to bring it to your attention that this genocide is happening. Dearborn is a catalyst for advocacy for international events that have direct impact to the residents that live in Dearborn. This is no different than the genocide that's happening in Gaza in terms of the direct impact. Obviously, it's not as extensive. There's also the illegal aggression of Israel into southern Lebanon, which is directly impacting those families here in Dearborn. This is just another unfortunate circumstance involving genocide. I'm asking you in your capacity as elected officials and the relationships that you do foster with people in higher government.
You have 30 seconds.
Thank you. That you could perhaps bring this up to their attention. I did via Commissioner Sam Baydoun, and thanks for his help, try to bring this letter to the front of her desk, so to speak, Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib. But it's my obligation to do as much as I can and to speak on any platform that's available to me, and this happens to be one of them. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for coming forward. We do appreciate that and are well aware of the situations that are happening, and they do affect residents. We do feel for them and do hope that things do get better. So we do appreciate you coming forward. Okay, for some of the residents that are not having a place to seat, I know that we have some room now. There is a overflow room directly behind us. If you right out this door to the side, there's cameras in there with live video. If you'd like to have a seat there, you're more than welcome to, okay? Do we have any other comment cards that are unrelated to agenda item, the short-term rental item?
No, we do not.
There's one in the back. Ma'am, would you like to step forward? Jackie, do you want to just see if it's unrelated so we can go forward to the next item? Oh, she'll take it for you, yeah. Is it?
I would also, my name is Evelyn, and I live on 5734 Kendall. I would also like to comment my concerns regarding the Ashira March. As has been stated before, the Ashira March has been larger than ever this year, and unfortunately, just as disruptive this year to the residents located along Ford Road between Schaefer and Greenfield. As noted before, there's a lot of congestion with parked cars. I also had somebody park their car right in my driveway, and there was also cars parked end to end on my street, also blocking fire hydrant and also blocking access to my street. My suggestion is that the number of participants be limited, possibly giving out like participation tickets, and only those with a ticket could participate. I also suggest that parking be limited to designated parking lots around the city and use shuttle buses similar to what we use for the homecoming. I hope these suggestions will be taken into account. Also, last year I observed numerous cars crossing against the light on Ford and Chase, and this is because the timing of the lights on Ford and Chase is very short. So people have only a few cars can cross Ford Road on Chase during the light. And this entices a lot of cars to run the light, because who wants to wait for numerous light changes? And there's a lot of people that are trying to get out, especially at the end of the march, and they don't want to wait for all these cars are just going to fly through and try to hit the light, and they aren't going to be able to make it. So you would probably need somebody, a police officer, to direct traffic and allow more cars to go through the light than normal because of the short timing of the lights.
You have 30 seconds.
Also, because of the videos have been shared on the internet regarding the march, and it hasn't been a very good look for Dearborn. And I hope you'll try to address this. A lot of things are taken out of context, and I think maybe public relations is needed much before the march to present this in a more favorable light, because it's not a good look for the community or for the Muslim community in particular. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much. We will take those comments back, Jackie. And we do appreciate that. We know that has been growing, but like I indicated before, breaking the laws and not being law abiding is definitely a concern. So we're going to look into it and see what we can do. We do appreciate that. Is there anyone else here to address the city council that's not on agenda item, sir? All right, and there's no other cards, correct?
Nope.
Okay, so just step forward and name and address. You know the drill, right?
My name's Dennis Duggan. I live at 21800 Morley Avenue on the corner of Ford Field. This is a little bit of long-range planning. As an old-timer, you get to sit and read a lot of stuff. So I notice we live in a day and age where our government is kind of trying to redefine everything and make it the way they want it to be, and kind of take particularities out of it. There is right now in the census for 2030. Now, is that long-range planning enough? For 2030, there's a plan to have more ethnicity, more expression of color, more expression of experience in the census. But there's also a movement to now take that away. Let's homogenize and make everybody look white, let everybody look this way or that way, rather than let everybody be who they are. And so I just like to say to you elected officials, and I'll write letters too from a citizen's point of view, but we've got to be proactive on this. And I think, again, Dearborn is a great place to talk about diversity. It was very interesting in my little bit of study going back to 1909. That was the first time where the Arabic community went to court to figure out what their ethnicity would be, and because of some political shenanigans, it turned out that they were declared white and not allowed to be distinctive in their own experience. So for the MENA, or the Middle Eastern North Africa designation that is in the works right now but could be taken away from us, please, everybody, think about it and keep it up there so that when 2030 rolls around, which I hope I'm still here to be counted, I hope that it really is more distinctive of who we are as Americans in our diversity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dennis. Councilwoman Herrick?
Thank you, Council President, and thank you, Dennis, for bringing that to our attention for anybody who had not heard. I know Councilman Hammoud and myself were among a number of people who worked with Access and other nonprofit organizations to get the word out when public comment was being heard across the country regarding the Middle Eastern North African designation, the MENA designation for the census. And we felt a small victory that they said the Census Bureau reported more public input on that issue than they had ever for an issue on the census. And I'm hoping that that victory will not be short-lived based on short-sightedness of those who are in decision-making roles on the national level at this time, because it's really important, especially in Dearborn or communities like ours, where we have diverse populations, in order for them to be recognized, because those that recognition helps bring funding back from the federal government to Dearborn itself for things like education and healthcare and other services that our population might need that differs from other communities around our county or our state. So I hope that if that does look like it's in jeopardy, that people who hear this will speak up, because it makes a big difference to what comes back to Dearborn as far as federal dollars go, and for the recognition of, as you said, the diversity of our country and our population right here. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anyone else here to address the city council regarding city business that is not an agenda item? And we have no more cards?
Here's a gentleman.
Okay, sir, just step forward. Yep, sorry. And just a kind reminder, your name and address for the record, and just a kind reminder, there's a 3-minute limitation.
Oh, thank you. My name's Ruben Carreri, 3317 Dallas Street. It's a great honor to speak in front of you all today. I appreciate all that you do. So I'm concerned about the enforcement of city ordinances, and at first it sounds like kind of silly or naggy or whatever, but I don't really know what to do at this point. I'm a fourth generation Dearborn resident. I bought a home in Dearborn because as I knew it, they were cared about the neighborhood and required things to be kept up and stuff, and so then I moved in, and I'm spending a lot of money, and it's different, neither here nor there, and and so one neighbor, there's no leaves raking, and they pile up and they blow into my backyard and they corner in the back. So that was easy. I knocked on their door and said, "Hey, can I rake your leaves?" And they let me. I mean, you just rake it into the street. That's it. It's great. But then another neighbor, and I've called many times, and snitches get stitches. But the thing is it's like when you keep calling and nothing is happening. Garbage was piling over their fence, over my fence into my yard. There's weeds that are in their backyard this tall. There are trees growing out of the shrubs, which are as high as the ceiling in here. The blinds are just ripped apart. And Dearborn is a beautiful city. I love Dearborn. I love everything about Dearborn. It's just sometimes I feel like I try and I feel like I should be able to call the city and alert them to a problem, and the city should be able to resolve that problem without me continuously following up and not getting callbacks or sending emails and not getting responses. And so that's what I have to say. Thank you.
Ruben, thank you very much. I appreciate you coming forward. I can tell you that that's one of the larger complaints is enforcement on the issue of continuously letting people know what they have to do and where we can get an advantage point. A lot of times the inspectors if they cannot visually see from a vantage point the back, they need someone to call. So I do appreciate that. And if it continues to happen the same time, over and over again with the same person, we do have methods and there is ordinances in place. So before you, when you step down, if you can give our Jackie, our executive assistant, the address that yours is and the address that's the adjacent property, we will send someone out there right away, because we have to react based on the calls, and there is a call center and a call log. We do have inspectors going in regular routes. I know the mayor does a regular walkthrough throughout the city. So it's not possible to catch everything, but when you call us, it definitely should be heard.
I mean, it's hard, and it's hard to, I work like a lot of hours, usually, 70, 60 hours a week. And so it's, and stay in Arbor. It's hard to, follow up and keep coming back at it. So, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, if you don't mind, Ruben, give her the address and the contact, and we'll definitely get through to it. So we do appreciate it. Anyone else here to address the city council regarding city business not on the current agenda? Okay, at this time, Mr. Clerk, at 7:55, we'll close the public comment section. And before we move to the consent agenda, are there any items that any member wishes to remove from the consent agenda, and discuss individually? All right, hearing none, Mr. Clerk, you may proceed.
Item number 9, resolution in need of offer and support, approving all the items of the consent agenda and requesting immediate effect.
Offered by Councilwoman Herrick, supported by Councilman El Swafi. Mr. Clerk, can we have a roll call vote?
Councilmember El Swafi.
Yes.
Councilmember Herrick.
Yes.
Council President Sereni.
Yes.
Councilmember Enos.
Yes.
Councilmember Hamud.
Yes.
Councilmember Abraham.
Yes.
6 yeas, the resolution passes.
All right, Mr. Clerk, thank you. We will continue to
So now we will move on to item number 32.
32. Yes, sir.
A resolution by Councilmember Enos and Abraham approving the minutes of the previous regular meeting of June 10th, 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Are there any additions, deletions, or modifications to these minutes? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 33, resolution by council members Abraham and Enos approving the minutes of the previous special closed meeting of June 17th, 2025.
Any additions, deletions, or modifications to these minutes? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item number 34, a resolution by council members Enos and Abraham approving the minutes of the previous special open meeting of June 25th, 2025.
All right, again, are there any additions, deletions, or modifications to these minutes? Any objection to unanimous roll? Okay, unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 35, ordinance on the table, ordinance number 25-1845, an ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance of the city of Dearborn by amending Article 1 entitled Short Title, Rules of Construction and Definition, Article 4 entitled Off-Street Parking and Loading Requirements, Article 7 entitled Site Development Standards Applicable to Specific Uses, Article 11 entitled RP Residential Preservation District, Article 12 entitled RCRD and RE Multiple Family Residential Districts, Article 17 entitled BD Downtown Business District, and Article 27 entitled West Downtown District with an effective date of October 27th, 2025. Resolution by council members Enos and Abraham to take from the table for its final reading.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Any unanimous roll shall be attached to take from the table for its final reading. The proposed ordinance is designed to keep Dearborn's residential neighborhoods truly residential, not hubs for commercial businesses. With the rise of short-term rentals, platforms such as Airbnb and Vrbo, cities across the country are stepping in to manage the impact, and Dearborn is doing the same here. This ordinance updates both our zoning ordinance and code of ordinances. Zoning changes will define where and how short-term rentals can operate with code updates. Will register ongoing compliance and safety standards. The goals are clear: protect our housing stock for our residents and long-term renters, reduce nuisance issues, and allow rentals only in the areas that align with border city planning objectives, the broader city planning objectives. After a public hearing on May 12, 2025, the Planning Commission unanimously approved this ordinance. This is the second and final reading of this ordinance. So I know we have many people here to speak on this. So I will first see if anyone from the council would like to make a comment prior to us opening it up to the cards. And if once I get through the cards, if there's people that did not want to fill up a card, just please raise your hand and we'll recognize you. Anything from the council? Councilman Abraham.
Thank you, Council President. As we all know up here, we've been working on ordinance changes revolving around short-term rentals and making a distinction between home ownership, long-term rentals, and short-term rentals in our residential neighborhoods and our residential zoning districts. I just wanted to speak out on the reason I'm supporting this change to our ordinance and let people know that there's really no other ordinance on our books that allows for a primary business to operate in residential zoning. And to me, that's a huge distinction between short-term rental operations and long-term rentals or home ownership. And I know the mayor personally has committed his administration to improving our neighborhoods and putting our residents first and prioritizing the safety and welfare of our community. And so for me, I know there's a lot of debate and there's a lot of opinions and there's a lot of perspectives on this ordinance and what it means to our community. But to me, it's most important to put our neighborhoods first and strengthen our neighborhoods. The public input that was previously heard didn't specifically talk about short-term rentals, but almost every person that came up talked about strengthening our community, strengthening their street, strengthening their neighbors, strengthening their neighborhoods. That's what people want to see. That's what they care about most in Dearborn. And for that reason, I'm going to be supporting this ordinance as we move it forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Enos.
Yeah, thank you, Council President. I agree with Councilman Abraham, but just to add my own spin on this, why I appreciate this ordinance is I am a small business owner, and small businesses are essential to our success of our community, but neighborhoods are the lifeblood of our city. I believe we need to prioritize and a sense of community in our neighborhoods. This is why I'm in favor of this ordinance. And at the end of the day, we're only as strong as our neighborhoods.
Without question. Thank you, Councilman Enos. For myself, I had the opportunity to learn a different side of the Airbnb or short-term rental aspect. Several current people that are in that space asked to meet with me. I think there were 7 or 8 of them we met, and enlightened me on their aspect to it. So I do understand, I did appreciate that, because there was things that I was unaware of as far as the maintenance and so on and so forth. But as Councilman Abraham and Councilman Enos has indicated, I am strongly in favor of this ordinance and has been for many months. Since I took the council presidency on my term, I actually had sent several articles that were in Cranes to my colleagues regarding the situation, and we decided to pause early on in the beginning of this term because of the fact that the state legislature was working on some ordinances, and of course we also had a tremendous budget shortfall that we were working on based on the taxpayers turning down a millage. So we had to put it aside until there was proper time to get to it. But this is not something that was just taken for a grain of salt or something that we just want to impede on someone or affect people's livelihoods. But what we do want to do, and what I believe we are doing, is we're not going to pick winners and losers. We're not in the business, this is the government, we're not in the business to say, well, you're in good shape, you don't have any violations. If you have violations, we're going to take it away from you. The cleanest way to do this, and for my legal education and our information with our legal department confirming, the best way to do this is based on zoning, and zoning has been upheld through the Court of Appeals and throughout the state of Michigan. And this way, a zoned area such as a downtown area that's already existed, so I want to make sure people understand that this is not a ban. This is a limitation in an area to the downtown area. A downtown area is known to have people coming in and out of the areas, frequenting the area, and it fits that area. I really want to applaud our planning department, our planning commission, mayor and the administration, especially the legal department. We do not try to pass any rules that are purposely to hurt or hinder anyone. We want to make sure that we keep the neighborhoods intact. You know, as many of you know, our tax millage is one of the higher ones in the state of Michigan. It is lower than Dearborn Heights, just in case anybody's listening. But we believe a residential neighborhood is a residential neighborhood. And if you're in the downtown area, and I appreciate that we found this avenue through our legal department, our planning department, our planning commission, that this way, if it's in the downtown area, it's allowed. And that boundaries have already been drawn. And I know that talking to the mayor, there's a future to look at expanding to other business districts within the city. But I want everyone here to know we do understand where you're coming from. And it's not bad apples. It's not, a situation where someone would say there's only a few people complaining. I don't agree with that. I look at it as you might have a voice of a few people, but is the general consensus of the city of Dearborn. And as I took interviews throughout the week regarding this aspect, I made it very clear. The city of Dearborn has always led. That's why we have a tremendous police and fire department. That's why we took a dispatch center and expanded it to 7 or 8 communities. We're not the city that will sit back and say, let's see what everybody else does. We tackled it from the beginning and knew that it was going to be a concern, and we'd want to make as less impact on the people as possible. So that's why we're taking the lead on it. And that's why you see a media attention and so on regarding it, because it is something that, it could very easily be just kicked to the side and let go. But that's not what we do in Dearborn, and that's not why I got elected, or I believe my colleagues had. So I just want everybody to understand the rationale behind it. In a neighborhood, it does matter who your neighbors are, whether you have kids or no kids or younger kids, and everybody knows who their neighbor is. They take in the garbage can when you're gone. They'll grab the mail for you. You want to know who's there. It's not the tremendous parties, even though there has been nuisance and complaints, there's no question. But there's also a disconnection when you have someone that's there for 2 or 3 days as opposed to someone that has a vested interest in the property for long term. And for me, I could never vote for something that I put myself in their shoes. Would I want one next to my house that was continuously changing personnel? We don't know who's there and who's not. I cannot sit up here in good conscience and tell you that I would. I'm a father of 5 children. I get 2 grandchildren. And to me, it matters and who's your neighbors, and that's why you live by people that you want to be associated with. And so I just want people to understand this is not a business aspect, but I think a couple of my colleagues has indicated we don't allow rental car businesses in these neighborhoods. We don't allow people to do mechanic shops in their backyards. I'm not talking about classic cars you're doing for your own self. I'm talking about an actual fixing cars and selling them out of your neighborhood. So this is actually something that we need to do, because it's something that is found a way to carve a business inside of a house that is in a neighborhood that's just not conducive to the city of Dearborn. That being said, I wanted to make sure that everyone that had the opportunity to speak would be able to speak on this. So I know we have several cards, and I'm going to go through those as and allow you the time. Just keep in mind, please, that there is a 3-minute time limit. We do want to hear what you have to say. If you have anything to pass out, please provide it to the clerk and he'll send it to us. And just keep in mind that we want to allow people to be heard, so allow them to speak and please not interrupting them. So first we have Mrs. Nancy Harmon. Is she here? Okay.
Hello, my name is Nancy Harmon. I live at 22278 Morley Avenue. I'm also president of the Morley Area Residents Association, and I'm also the secretary for the Dearborn Federation of Neighborhoods, which we're always looking for new neighborhoods who want to be associated. Started up in Dearborn. If you want to be a neighborhood association, talk to me. But this is the letter that we send to the councilmen and women. Dear Dearborn City Council, the Dearborn Federation of Neighborhood Association would like to express their support for limiting Airbnbs to business districts. The DFNA meets monthly to discuss city services and neighborhood concerns. The daily disruptions to neighborhood life that an Airbnb creates in neighborhoods, such as parking, loud activities, and security issues, have been mentioned repeatedly at our monthly meetings. Current Airbnbs have not been certified as rental properties by the city, exposing potential safety concerns for guests who rent the building. The desirability of any neighborhood exists in the unique relationships and sense of community that develop over time. The very nature of the transient occupants of an Airbnb excludes this quality and certainly distracts significantly from the neighborhood environment. The DFNA has always worked to advocate for and promote community standards that contribute to Dearborn's quality of life. So thank you for the ongoing support for neighborhoods. And sometimes since I've been to these meetings for 30 years, it's sometimes helpful to ask everybody who's in favor of the ordinance to stand up so you sort of have a clue in the room. Would that be okay?
No, that's not how we operate,
Okay.
Ms. Harmon. Just
I've
finish
done it in
your
the
thought.
past, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's not how we run it, but you could go ahead. Are you
Thanks.
done?
Pardon?
Are you completed?
done.
Yeah, thank you for your continued support, and we do appreciate the associations. They do mean a lot, and we're here for our residents. That's why we're here. And the resident associations do have a big part in our community, so we do appreciate you being here and bringing forward those comments, because we know that those are echoed throughout your association, so we do appreciate that.
And we are looking for new associations, for
Always.
just saying that.
All right, thank you. Next, we have Joseph LeBlanc. Yes.
Thank you. Good evening. Joseph LeBlanc, 22337 Tenney Street, Dearborn. I've been here before advocating for regulation of short-term rentals. You've heard my story, you've got my emails, you've got my photos, so I won't go through all of that anymore. But the simple fact is, short-term rentals, they're unsupervised, unlicensed, unregistered, and uninspected hotels that are in residential areas. You brought it up yourself. You don't allow any other commercial enterprise in residential neighborhoods. So why hotels? They don't belong in neighborhoods. If you want to run a business, follow the same rules, follow the same zoning, taxation, regulations, processes, everything that's involved with running a business. I want to thank the administration. I've talked with Mr. Jordan Twardy probably about 3 years ago on this.
Yeah, Jordan, they look similar, but yeah, back there.
I thought you grew a beard, sorry. But I want to thank you for all the work and the work of the administration and the Planning Commission. I'm putting together what I believe is a really comprehensive, fair, equitable piece of legislation, an ordinance that's fair. It's fair to everybody. It's fair to the homeowners. It's fair to the current hotel owners that are in the city. What it does is this puts short-term rentals on a level playing field with other hotels. It maintains the integrity and the safety of residential neighborhoods and the community in Dearborn as a whole. I've talked with the Vice President of Governmental Affairs at the Michigan Michigan Restaurant Lodging Association. We talked about this ordinance, perfectly in line with the same tenets that they have, that they proposed. All they do is they're supporting parity of short-term rentals with hotels within communities. This does that, from what I've read and the way I understand it, I think it lines up perfectly. Same thing, it's in line with a set of bills that have been proposed, I think, last year in Lansing.
Yes.
So I think, and it's in line with other municipalities that have put in these types of ordinances. Just so you know, a 2021 survey by the MRLA shows this. 79% of voters say local government should set rules and regulations about short-term rentals. 74% of voters say local communities should be allowed to set their own rules because each is different and want many different things.
You have 30 seconds.
72% of voters support legislation that creates a more level playing field with short-term rentals and hotels. I believe the proposed ordinance meets all those guidelines, and so I would urge you to please support this ordinance. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. LeBlanc. Appreciate your continued support in coming to the council office, chamber for these meetings. Next, we have Ann Mueller.
My name is Ann McGraw-Mueller. I live at 654 Kensington, and I would just like to thank you guys for getting ahead of this the way that you have. We've dealt with an Airbnb on Marlboro for over 2 years now, and it's really been kind of scary, actually. And we bought our house, which was actually moved in 1927 to the spot where it sits in 2006. We on purpose moved here because we liked the diversity of Dearborn and we wanted to be here. And when we started seeing all the action that was going on across the street and, you know, worry about the grandsons and a lot of our neighbors that were impacted, and I just really appreciate you guys doing this, and I definitely support the ordinance. And if they could just make the companies, because a lot of these Airbnbs are owned by hedge funds. They're not local people. They may have local property managers, but they're owned by big hedge fund corporations, and they're not in the best interest of the neighborhood. They really aren't. But I appreciate you guys. Thanks very much, and hope we can get a good ordinance. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you coming forward. Next, we have Kurtnick. Yes. Okay. Just your name and address for the record, same format. I apologize, I couldn't read the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
My name's Mike Henterly. I live at 22521 Marlboro, across the street from this B&B. Maggie is the next-door neighbor that lives next door to it.
Yes, I'm the lucky one that has one right next door. I've called for about 2 years, I called the property people because they weren't keeping up the lot, and nothing was ever done. Nobody ever came out.
They were not keeping up the lot, you said?
They weren't
Maintenance-wise.
Maintenance-wise.
Yes, okay.
Not cutting their lawns. There's a boarded-up window in the back.
Yeah.
There's
Councilman.
a hole in the side of the brick.
Councilman, sorry, can you pass those down?
And nothing has ever been done, so I gave up calling.
Yeah,
I have people parking in my driveway. I get up in the morning and there's cars from New York in my driveway. They parked the wrong way on the street in front of my house. The police were just out, what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, several police calls. I'd like to say this is the very thing you're voting on. As far as we can tell, this home is owned by Hestia Capital Company. And then when you try to search for the property, it's buried in a portfolio somewhere, so there's no accountability for it. Basically, what I see from across the street is just a bare minimum of maintenance, mowing the lawn. You can see from one picture, there's ivy all over the front of the house.
Yeah,
And it's covering up the address.
Yep.
But that's only because last year the city made them tear down the ivy that was covering the whole front of the house. So if you look at the reviews for the B&B, people love the neighborhood, you know, they think it's wonderful. There's like 150 compliments on the neighborhood. But
Except for me.
Yes, but this person is not a good neighbor. They're just gonna let the place run down and then dump it, you know? So there's very little commitment.
And there's a big thing you can see in the backyard. There's about an 8-foot section of fence that is no longer there. I had to take my garage down after a storm. It's not my fence. It didn't break their fence. There's a section. So when people come that have animals, they come into my backyard to do their business.
Yeah. And the
You have
board
30
on-
seconds, please.
The board on the back of the house is from an egress that somebody tried to convert it into a 4-bedroom house and gave up, and that's maybe...
Yeah, and it's just plywood.
Yeah, plywood that's been there for years now, so there's like no commitment to the property at all.
And I've lived in Dearborn for 80 years and owned 3 homes. And nobody will buy my house. All they have to do is look next door. Nobody with children. You say you have children.
Yes.
Who wants that kind of, those kind of tenants? I mean, they sit on the front porch and smoke dope, which I know is legal, but it comes in my dining room window. And I don't even get high from it, you know.
Sorry, your time has ended.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
I want to thank you. I want to thank you for coming forward and being a resident for 80 years. We do appreciate it. We will, the issues regarding the boarding up, I know the mayor has the address. Jordan, Mr. Torti, we need to get that address because some of those things, regardless of the Airbnb or not, need to be addressed, especially a fence missing, that's a nuisance issue. And a boarded up aspect cannot be done. That's a safety and security. They have to work towards repair. So I know the mayor has that.
Address is 22518 Marlboro.
Jackie, please put that down for the referral. We'll send that, Mr. Torti, we'll send that over. So we'll try to get that right away. But we do appreciate it. I think for residents out there, this was another thing that was brought up to the council that was very important. And those of us, many of us that were around during the housing crisis in 08 and so on and so forth, know that a lot of money does get poured in from bigger companies and conglomerates for these housing aspects. And, you know, we hope the economy is going to continue to go strong. But this is something that did take an effect for myself and my colleagues, that this is a possibility that many of these homes will be bought up during this time for business aspects. So that's why we wanted to get ahead of it. I'm glad you brought that up. I did not mention that, but that was part of our discussion. So thank you. But we will get that on our referral aspect to that property. Thank you. All right, next we have Shireen, I can't pronounce the last name, sorry. Thora? Okay. Serena, okay. Come forward and just the same aspect, if you don't mind, name and address for the record.
Okay. Hi, Serena Thoraya. I'm at 5220 Argyle in East Dearborn, and I'm speaking on behalf of my parents today. They're just concerned residents, but we're speaking in support of Airbnb. And we just wanted to say that we've had 2 long-term rentals that are not Airbnbs next door. And just to compare for you how concerned residents are about rentals too, it's when you talk about Airbnbs and how, you know, negative they are for some people, you can't discredit, you know, you can't ignore long-term renting too, because we've had renters in and out for the last 22 years next door to us, and we've had to cut their grass for them. We've got rats because of them, and you know, the general and overall maintenance of the neighborhood is, you know, just not great because of it. And we've also got 2 Airbnbs in the neighborhood, and we would have never known that they were even there unless, you know, we had a family visiting and they were visiting across the street from us. So, but their grass is well maintained. Again, we live by a park too, so there are children all around the neighborhood. We've never had an issue. And we rather have someone renting short term, because if you get, let's say, negative neighbors or something like that, you know that they're leaving, they're not there to stay, but you can't guarantee that you're getting renters that are, you know, positive for the neighborhood either. And there is a briefing process also with Airbnb. So you're briefing whoever comes in and out of these neighborhoods, and these hedge fund corporations that are running them. I know you didn't want to talk about good and bad apples, but
right.
I mean, it's on a compassionate level. You need to think about people, you know, that are business owners. Yeah. And I know we have a small business owner up here, but it's just, you know, the compassion of it all too, and the wellness of the neighborhood, the connection that you were talking about too. I don't think Airbnb is risking that, because if you look statistically on a neighborhood level, there's probably there's only 75, I think, in Dearborn, right?
Correct, yeah, that's the estimates, yeah.
So the number of neighborhoods we have 100,000 is the population, if not more. So I don't think...
You have 30 seconds.
I don't think that there's, you know, if you do the math, I don't think it's that big of a concern. I mean, that's just my thought. And there are a lot of people here, too, in support of Airbnb, so I think that's a testament to how unthreatened we feel by it. So, thank you.
Thank you, Serena. Appreciate your comments. All right, and next we have Mr. Christopher Merlot. Christopher Merlot. Okay, he might be in the overflow room. I'll save it to the side.
He's here.
He's here. He does not want to
Sure.
speak. He doesn't want to speak.
I'm sorry. Thank you very much. We will pass these, Jackie. I apologize. I missed that section. We will email these to all members. All right, we have Afaf Ahmed.
Good evening. My name is Afaf Ahmed. I was here at the last meeting last week. I'm not going to repeat what I said, but I'm in favor of Airbnb because the community many of the families ask me to come and speak on their behalf. Since I have my own talk show and they want me to present them, in my understanding, Dearborn Police just issued last week, or no, 2 days ago, they issued over 600 traffic citations. This is the serious this is the problem we have in the city, not an Airbnb. The Airbnb, the percentage in Dearborn is less than 1%. So how can we judge that it's not good for the city if it's not out there and there's no bylaws and there's no regulations? So we need to try it first. and let's see how it goes, and whoever violates, then we take it away from their permit, and then we come back after a year or two, and then we discuss it. Or put on the ballot if it's possible, and let the citizen vote for it, because after all, many of you, respected council, been voted by the citizen without no experience in the city and how it works. And the same thing with Airbnb. Do not judge the families or the landlords if they cannot run their business or they cannot have their families coming here without testing it. Just test it and see how it goes. We are a big Arab community in Dearborn. Everybody come and visit us. You cannot corner families in a hotel or in a room and where they need mosque to go to, they need grocery stores, they need Arabic stores to go eat. So you cannot put them in a corner. And I did give a suggestion last week. Just find a land and let those landlords to build the houses and let have it a certain location for homes Airbnb. Families, they need homes who visit. I understand some of the concern, but yet there's no regulations, there's no law, it's something new to the city. Let test it. Let the people feel, the citizen, that the council is listening to them. Let's try it before we judge. Don't judge from the book. Try it first. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Next, we have Joel Newman. Thank you.
Yeah, Joel Neiman, 20429 Outer Drive. Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. I've been a proud resident of Dearborn for 9 years now, and I'm here tonight to talk about the proposed ban on short-term rentals outside the downtown area. I am one of the people this ban would directly affect. I understand the concerns of some of our community members. No one wants to deal with loud parties, unaffordable housing, or see our neighborhoods change in ways that make them feel less like home. I want you to know that I share those concerns. For almost a decade now, I have hosted many wonderful visitors in my home on short-term rentals. These have been tourists, medical students, business persons, and visiting members of our families. They are quiet, respectful, and contribute to our local economy by shopping at our stores, eating at our restaurants, and supporting our businesses. I'm currently providing shelter to a wonderful woman stuck in our country while she waits to be able to return to Iran. For me, and for many others like me, renting a room in our home is not a big business, it's a necessity. It helps me pay my mortgage and bills, and it's how I can afford to stay in the home and the city that I love. This necessary income has been indispensable and has supported me while I grow my art and business I started 2 years ago after my dad died. Losing it now would be like having the rug pulled out from under me right before approaching the finish line. My mom is a retired widow who also rents out a portion of her house. She relies greatly on the rental income she earns, and without it, her life would have to change significantly. This rental income is the difference between being financially stable and facing real hardship. I believe there's a better way forward than an outright ban that would hurt responsible homeowners like myself. Let's work together to craft a framework that supports the responsible homeowners who are contributing positively to our community and address the real problems people are frustrated with, not well-intentioned homeowners supplementing their income by giving visiting parents, sons, and daughters a comfortable, affordable place to stay when they visit home. Limiting short-term rentals to the downtown areas would effectively redistribute income from homeowners to business owners. The problem is not caused by long-standing residents using their homes to supplement their income. The problem is caused by businesses, many from out of state, purchasing homes for the sole purpose of renting them and not managing the activity that goes on at the property.
You have 30 seconds.
I strongly encourage you to reject the proposal to ban short-term rentals, or at least consider a carve-out permitting short-term rentals to continue in owner-occupied homes throughout the city or in walkable communities adjacent to the downtown area, such as Duval Edison. Thank you for your time and for your consideration.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mr. Sam Saka.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you, Council President, Council members, Mr. Mayor. So Sam Sock, I'm the president of the Dearborn Area Board of Realtors. And this just, by the way, this is not only a Dearborn issue. I'm here to say that obviously there is an issue with short-term rentals. And I travel throughout the whole country with the National Association of Realtors, and we've been seeing this throughout the whole country, that there is an issue with nuisances. It's problematic in that aspect. However, what I just passed out to everybody here is an ordinance that was given to me by the Michigan Association of Realtors to share with you. This has been ongoing for quite a while. I think a few years ago they drafted this, and they've been sharing it with the cities throughout. And it's actually been, there's a lot of good feedback on how that's been utilizing that ordinance. However, I'm here today, and it's just basically, we love what you guys are doing with the city. You know, we collaborate all the time. You guys are doing a lot of wonderful things. However, the only thing is, we're big advocates for property rights. And we just want to make sure that there's this ordinance that you're about to possibly pass, or maybe not, does not violate the rights of home ownership. That's what we advocate for. And that's what, we are for primary ownership. We are for, doing what's best for the city. I personally would want probably an Airbnb home next to mine. I totally agree. But I believe there might be a better way of possibly regulating it through licensing or whatever it may be, instead of, because here's the perception. A lot of people are looking hard, closely at the word ban. So when you say banning something when it pertains to property rights, that is the main issue here. But I want to acknowledge that there is a problem with short-term rentals, and there is based on what I just passed out, there's a lot of feedback with Michigan Realtors that they've had a lot of success with that ordinance. We would love for this to be possibly tabled to, possibly collaborate with one another.
You have 30 seconds.
To better this. If not, I totally understand, but this was given to me, last minute today. And I respect everything that you guys do here.
No, we appreciate it, Mr. Sack, and I appreciate the work you do at the Dearborn Chamber, Dearborn Area Board of Realtors. So we do appreciate that. I want to make it clear, because I had spoken early regarding, and our legal department is here, that we do believe that this is founded, it has been upheld with a zoning aspect in the Court of Appeals. So we feel that, as I indicated, we don't want to pick, licensing aspect, and the zoning is the cleanest, best way. And we have talked to the mayor and a few of my colleagues about expanding to other business districts instead of just the east and west downtown, that we look to continue later on as well. So we do appreciate it. And for myself, privacy, people's rights and property is sacred in the country. It always has been. But it's just like everything else, right? There is limitations on everything, and when you're affecting others nearby. And for myself, in my meeting with some of these gentlemen here and women that have the Airbnbs, I was unaware that you could rent a room in the house. I didn't even know that was legal. I know it's not legal in Dearborn in the basement.
Is it not legal?
It's not in Dearborn, a basement aspect. You can rent a room. But the way the short-term rental aspect, in some of the neighborhoods that they were in were very, very concerning for me. I didn't know that was an aspect of these short-term rentals, renting a room only, in the house.
Right.
And I understand the income aspect to it. And I understand there's an income aspect to it. Yeah. But,
and for me, it's like, how do you differentiate between short-term and long-term rentals?
Exactly.
And can we classify like long-term rentals being a business or can we classify it like that as we're classifying here, from my understanding, short-term rentals being a type of business in our community? Right. So these are the things that we want clarification on. That's all.
Very, very good point. The long-term, the rental aspect, we do have registered rentals. They have a different tax base, as you're well aware of as a realtor. So there is several protections for them. There's more frequent inspections. So there is a well-planned place in that. I think if if someone might know the answer, but my understanding is approximately 4,000 to 5,000 registered rentals in the city of Dearborn, unless someone's paying extra tax and is not really renting it, which I don't think anybody want to do that. So
Right.
that's a good indicator, and we do inspect them in intervals that are higher, and there is other regulations to them as well. So that's a longstanding aspect. But I think the short term, as we indicated, we want to get ahead of the situation, and the fact that you and your position has seen that this has been going around throughout the area, throughout the city and state.
It has been, yeah.
That it is a
absolutely.
concern, right?
We've been having this debate for the last few years now.
Exactly.
With Airbnbs. But this is an example of how they've been regulating it.
Right. No,
What I
this is
shared.
good.
But I'm
Good
sure
idea.
you guys did your research and you guys do one heck of a job. with
Thank
doing
you.
that.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you. All right.
Mr. Secretary. Thank you for your input. All right, next we have Mr. Arfan Backpacker.
Good evening. Fonba Packer, 11 Brantford Lane. I'm here, I'm the president of the Springwells Park Association. Just around the corner from here, it's 408 residents. We have a combination of single-family homes, there's condominiums, there's townhomes. So we're a unique neighborhood. We're the only deed-restricted neighborhood in the city of Dearborn.
Yep.
One of the things I just heard, it was 75 Airbnbs in the city. I believe we have about 7 or 8 of them. So we have about 10% of the city's Airbnbs. One of the things that I've been a president for 8 years of the association, I think that's one of the first complaints that I received from the residents is really, I think the first person who called me didn't know what it was because it was about 8 years ago, and they said, there's an Arabic bed and breakfast across the street from me. And I looked into it and I figured out, oh no, it's Airbnb, and that's so that's how it came to light. And over the years, and there's a lot of members of the association here. I've personally fielded, and I know members of the association have fielded many complaints about homeowners that live next to or nearby Airbnbs. Many of the things that have been brought up, recurring things, parking, and I would say that there are good apples and bad apples. One thing I don't think has been brought up, this is something we're seeing across Dearborn, property values, the more investment that you have from third parties, hedge funds, whatever it may be, Airbnbs there's a higher profit margin per property. And so if you can rent out your property multiple times throughout the month, you're going to make a lot more rental. You're willing to pay more for that property. I think housing costs are increasing. I think everybody here is paying more taxes. That's a direct result of higher prices for homes. I think this could cause more investment in the city of Dearborn because I believe a lot of people would want to come to the Dearborn area if they're visiting Southeast Michigan, which could result in higher prices because you have investors coming in saying, hey, this is a good spot to put an Airbnb. I'm going to pay more for this property. So that is something else that we're noticing. I know condos in our area are selling for more than twice what they were. I mean, I know the inflation happened the last couple of years, but I'm looking at 900 square foot homes selling, or condos, and it doesn't make sense unless it's made into an Airbnb or somebody wants to live in a 2-bedroom, 900 square foot home. So that's just what I've seen. I've also had the unique opportunity of speaking with Airbnb owners. And
You have
just saying
30 seconds, please.
there are the good apples, there are the bad apples. They do a good job. Some did a good job, some didn't do such a good job. But overall, I think the association as a whole is in support of passing this ordinance. Thank you.
Mr. Backpacker, yep. I found, Mr. Backpacker, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. My mom lives in that in the subdivision, and we had a restaurant there. That's a very historic area. A lot of trees. A few have been coming down lately, but we've been keeping them up. Tremendous amount of trees. Great area and a great neighborhood. So we do appreciate that from that aspect of the neighborhood association. Next is Hussein Jalan. No? Okay, Hussein Jalan. All right. Next, last we have, do you have any more, Jackie? Any more cards? All right, the last one we have is Cynthia Polaski? Polakowski.
Good evening, council members and Mayor Hammoud. I had the privilege of living backyard to backyard of an Airbnb. My husband and I are small business owners, and our business does not affect the surrounding area at all. I would guess that most neighbors do not know that we're busy in our office working from morning to night. But I feel that we in Dearborn, we all bought our homes with a clear vision of having neighbors and friends living next or near to us, people we can rely on, carrying similar values about the neighborhood we have invested in, not only with their money, but often with our children. Our children as collateral. We all chose to live in a neighborhood and not, as I have often said, on Michigan Avenue next to a motel. Airbnbs are businesses. When a neighbor's home goes up for sale, I feel an immediate sense of anxiety. Who will move in? Will it be a friend, someone I can be comfortable and safe with? Will they be someone I can learn to respect and appreciate as an asset to my family's well-being? An Airbnb robs us of that outcome and replaces it with cyclical anxiety. Every weekend, as the house adjacent to yours is filled with new people. It could be a bachelor weekend, which we've had. It could be a graduation party, as others have had. It could be a 30-foot RV parked across the length of your house, or even a quiet group of men who smoke cigars endlessly on end for hours. None of us anticipated the scenario when we looked for a home in Dearborn. The accumulated investment of the residents and homeowners, the homeowners of our city of Dearborn, deserve to be represented and protected by our elected officials. And I thank you for the time to speak to you. I am the vice president of the Association of Spring Mills Park, which, as Afan stated, is uniquely susceptible to this problem. So I appreciate your consideration in passing this ordinance. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, is there anyone else here that did not fill out a card would like to speak regarding this matter? Ma'am? Just a kind of reminder, same format, just your name and address for the record. Sure. Okay.
Good evening, council members. My name is Suad Biziahemi, residing at 23835 Oak Street, Dearborn. Council President, Mr. Saraini, I hear and respect your personal concerns as parents and grandparents. We all want safe, peaceful neighborhoods for our families, but personal preference, no matter how heartfelt, cannot be the basis for public policy. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you tonight on the legal implications of banning or over-regulating short-term rentals in our city. As you weigh this issue, I urge you to consider not just the political pressure or emotional narratives, but the legal precedent and constitutional framework that underpins property rights in Michigan. Let's start with Michigan's Zoning Enabling Act. While it gives municipalities the authority to regulate land use, that authority is not absolute. Regulations must be reasonable, non-arbitrary, and must serve a legitimate public interest. STRs are still residential in nature. If long-term rentals are allowed, then banning short-term ones without clear and documented justification may be viewed as discriminatory and overreaching under the law. In Ree versus Township of Spring Lake 2022, WL 180-26996, Michigan Court Appeal, the Michigan Court of Appeals ruled that short-term rentals are a residential use of property, not a commercial one, as long as the primary function remains habitation. This case struck down a township's attempt to prohibit STRs based on zoning classifications, setting an important precedent. Similarly, in Margaritaville of Michigan, LLC versus City of South Haven, 2021, WL 5712159, the court emphasized that municipalities cannot enforce zoning ordinances that contradict a property's designated use without clear statutory authority and proper due process. From a constitutional standpoint, STR bans can implicate the Fifth Amendment, protection against unlawful takings, and the Fourth Amendment, due process. When a city restricts or strips a homeowner's right to rent their property, even temporarily, they're effectively devaluing the property without just compensation or due process. That opens the door to costly litigation. Across the U.S., cities
You
like
have
New
30
York,
seconds.
Los Angeles, and Miami Beach have spent millions in court fees defending overly aggressive STR regulations, many of which were overturned due to violations of constitutional rights or lack of due process. I'm not asking that STRs go unregulated. I'm asking for balanced, enforceable regulations, such as licensing, occupancy limits, nuisance ordinances, and inspection protocols. These tools address valid concerns without violating legal rights or exposing Dearborn to future lawsuits.
I'm sorry, your
Dearborn
time
is
has
known
ended.
for its thoughtful leadership. I urge you to continue that legacy by creating policy that is fair, defensible, and legally sound. And to Mayor Abdullah Hamoud, I respectfully appeal to your leadership. You've positioned yourself as a forward-thinking mayor who champions equity, progress, and responsible governance. This is an opportunity to demonstrate that leadership by supporting policies that protect our neighborhoods while upholding the constitutional rights of property owners. And to Council Member Mustafa Hamoud, thank you for standing with residents in support of balanced and lawful regulation. Your thoughtful leadership and commitment to fairness reflect the kind of public service our city needs. We truly appreciate your voice on this issue and hope to see continue rising into higher positions of leadership in the future, Dearborn and beyond. Let's
Thank you.
regulate smartly, not litigate unnecessarily. Thank you for your time.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much. Is there anyone else here who would like to speak? Please just stay. We'll get you right after. There's one more ahead of you. Just a kind reminder of the 3-minute limitation.
Name and address.
Good evening. My name's Lali, Dearborn resident, and how do I speak after her? She brought amazing points from a legal standpoint that I think may put the city susceptible to legal ramifications should everything that she said is true. But I think there are ways to cater to both sides. We all, I think, even those who are against this prohibition, they're all for strengthening neighborhoods. They're all for improving our neighborhoods and creating a friendly environment in residential areas. There are other ways and measures to regulate without banning. And I think that is something that has to be considered. What are some of the ramifications of short-term rentals or some of the complaints? You have excessive parking, loud noises, outsiders, hedge funds owning. You can all put ordinances and regulations to eliminate those concerns without banning short-term rentals in residential areas. So I would consider and suggest every one of you to at least table it, and if not possible at the second reading, to reject it and come back to the drawing board and figure out ways in which you are able to regulate and accommodate both sides without creating rift within the community. Because this is what's going to happen. If this passes as is, you are only going to monopolize the business district to increase rates and make it nearly impossible or very difficult for people to afford, because the point of short-term rentals is to be able to afford it without having to compete with the conventional hotels. And now putting them in the same area dilutes that opportunity and inflates the pricing. Secondly, is infringing into conservative cultural norms. There are reasons why people want residential rentals to ensure that certain cultures are still maintained within the family, near the family, without having to go to a business district to accommodate festivities such as weddings, engagements, or graduations. So for those who have committed to supporting this ordinance, I hope you reconsider. For those who are on the fence, I really certainly hope that you go on record.
You have 30
and
seconds.
Either reject it or table it in order to come to a consensus of a measure that coincides and meets all demands. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Dana, and I reside at 15849 Andover in Dearborn.
and I'm an owner of a short-term rental properties in the city. I'm here tonight because I strongly oppose this proposed STR rezoning, which I believe is unfair and harmful to STR owners and Dearborn visitors. I'm not an expert in policymaking, but in my opinion, when you decide to restructure the operation of any business in the city, it's only the obvious that you provide legit and solid reasons and evidence as to why that kind of business should be banned in certain areas. In my case, and up to my knowledge, up to my knowledge that no one from the STR owners had received any major complaints from neighbors or had any issues with property upkeep, and no one has received any calls from police about any inappropriate activities happening on these properties.
Okay,
There was
please, everyone, just, we ask that you respect to let the speaker have their.
So I wonder
time.
why the city keeps ignoring the fact that there were no major violations in that regards, and why all of a sudden STR is an urgent matter to the city of Dearborn that threatens peace and calm to our neighborhoods, as the city is hinting. You've said your goal is to keep neighborhoods intact, but many of us who own short-term rentals actually live in these neighborhoods. I don't accept the idea that we are somehow disrupting our own community's environment. I could share many examples of good and bad neighbors, and that has nothing to do of whether the property is short-term rented or long-term rented. And it was very interesting to see how the city from the start was ignoring us through the process and trying to pass this item as quiet and fast as possible without informing STR owners who are directly impacted by this decision. The city of Dearborn should be working closely with STR owners, as they are central in this matter, and not to try to override our point of view, because it only makes us feel like the city's decision is designed to benefit its own agenda rather than Dearborn community as a whole, which we are part of. This is not a balanced approach. It's a blanket policy that changes the lives of a lot of people who depend on it as a major source of living and damages the reputation of Dearborn as an inclusive community. I urge you to reconsider this proposal and to work towards fair solutions. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else here to speak on this aspect? Ma'am, step forward. We have some more. Okay, I'm going to have to limit it soon. So please, we're looking for a different aspect. Ma'am, go ahead. Step forward. Yes, because a minute ago there was nobody that wanted to speak. Now we have 7 or 8 hands. So I'm going to have to limit it to things that are generally, especially if you're from an association. We've heard from your association leadership. I just want to make sure that please reconsider. If you want to speak and add something different, that would be great. But we've heard many of the same things. So, ma'am, go ahead.
I'm just going to say that I live
Ma'am,
in Springwells Park,
we need
Susan Lindquist, 5 Abbott Lane, Springwells Park. I was going to let you know that some of these Springwells Park rentals, I live in a duplex. The duplexes are, my duplex is 840 square feet.
Yeah.
I live between 2 rentals. I share walls. I share the building structure. I share the driveway. I share the garage. I have 2 rentals. They're not Airbnbs, but I can tell you that the problem with Springwells Park, for example, and these Airbnbs that have become so attractive to these Airbnb companies is that the walls are thin. You can hear anything. If someone lights a cigarette on the other side of the wall, I can smell it. I can hear people having sex. I can hear people showering in the bathroom. I can hear them fan running. I can hear them going to the bathroom. If I go down the basement, I can hear full conversations with people. We do not have any firewalls between these units, and we share driveways. I have a renter who parks on my side of the driveway almost every day that I have to ask her. She sits outside on her cell phone talking, smoking. At least I know who these people are. But the problem with the Airbnbs, you have people coming and going at different hours. You don't know who they are. You don't know who's supposed to be there. And some of them, I have a neighbor, she can't be here. She's beside an Airbnb, but she's actually in the rehab. A lot of the people are older who are dealing with this, including me. But, but the problem with these Airbnbs is that it takes a long time for people to figure out, what's appropriate, but they're only there for a night and they want to have fun. and they don't care, and no, they're not maintained as well. And I don't want to hear all the noises that I hear from the two rentals, and if I had to hear something different every night, because I'm sure they're going to be having fun, So that's the problem. We have some old houses in Dearborn, we have some small lots, things are close together, driveways are close to windows. Someone driving up my driveway, it's so narrow, they drive right past my window, and I see them, the lights shine in my face while I'm sitting and watching my little TV. So that's the problem, so I appreciate that if you're gonna potentially pass this, I so appreciate this, because in places like Springwells Park, the place is just too old and the setup is not appropriate.
Thank you.
So, thank you.
All right, any last comments? Ma'am, okay, I'm gonna allow you to come in. We have a couple more. There's gonna be 3 more we'll do, and then we have to move on. I apologize. We have a whole agenda. Go ahead.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, just name and address for the
I
record.
could hardly sit still
I could tell.
through some of this
That's
meeting.
okay.
My memory, others may disagree on time frame, but I've been in this very chamber for 3 years at least discussing this topic.
Ma'am, can you just say your name for the record?
Did I not say my name?
I thought you did.
Kathy Carroll, 3704 Brewster Street.
Thank you.
I am Susan's neighbor, so she described it very well as far as our neighborhood goes. But what I want to say is, we attended the open meeting, we attended all varieties of meetings here. We've been speaking about this for 3 years. Where has everybody been all those 3 years to talk about it? So here we are. I am in favor of the regulations and restrictions, ordinances, zoning, whichever you'd like to call it, of this process. I haven't been to every meeting, but I know this has been a topic of conversation for a very long time. And so all of a sudden, everybody's coming out of the woodwork and big clapping and all of this sort of thing. But where were they all these other years in the past when we've been talking about this? Thank you.
Thank you. All right, there's 2 more people, yeah. Someone back there we have, I'll get you, ma'am. I think we have 3 more right here. Sir, step forward, please.
Dave Albacete, 5259 Jonathan Street, Dearborn, Michigan.
Yes.
Just want to kind of give some insight on this. I actually one of those people that was not aware of this mandate, and sorry we're busy working and making a living and not keeping up with it. All I want to bring to the table is...
Sir, I know, but we don't want you addressing other people and making comments like this. Very distasteful. Hold on. Sure. The law does not, we noticed you properly and legally. That's the notice of the person. We're not coming to every house, knock on your door, and give you the notice, and you should know better than that. But please, refrain from attacking other people or making comments like that is very disrespectful, and I will not allow it.
I apologize.
Okay.
The point I want to make is Dearborn is a family-oriented community, right? And the people that are going to come to Dearborn are families. I feel like we're almost prejudging these guests before they've even gotten here. So we have, the holy month of Ramadan, where Dearborn's known for the people that come from California, New York, all over Canada, whatnot, the Middle East, and visit and stay for a longer duration, right? So my opinion, in the way I see it, is we should be welcoming these families. We should be welcoming them to enjoy and have the Dearborn experience. With us kind of banning it as a whole, or not even giving it a chance to regulate it smartly in within certain limitations. WDIV was actually outside my house the other day and pulled me aside and wanted to have an interview, and it kind of piqued my interest. And I thought about it a little bit deeper and did my own research about it. And I'm not an Airbnb owner, nor do I plan to be. I think the pattern I'm seeing here is these housing associations are maybe afraid of change, right? So, something that's beyond their control. I think this is a good thing, allowing people in our community, and when families come here, they usually come here with a larger family, 4 or 5 kids, right? I'm just like you guys, I'm a parent as well, and I don't want strangers near my family at all, of course. But I think we should keep an open mind, stay positive, and welcome these visitors, and give them the benefit of the doubt. We're all looking at them, they're negative or they're bad. I don't see that. People that come to Dearborn, we have the finest police department in the state, and we're in the country as far as I'm concerned. And if it's an issue, if there's nefarious activity taking place, call the police and they'll deal with it. I mean, I don't see how one place is allowed to have Airbnb versus the other. If that's an issue, Airbnb is an issue, you should just ban it all together. So that's my point. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. And you're going to be last. Yeah. So we have two more. Samir, you have something you'd like to add, please? And then I think there's one lady in the back, and then that would be the conclusion.
Samir Ali, 14410 Berkeley. You know, there's 70 of us. All this for 70. I've talked to each and every one of you over and over, probably a couple times. I appreciate that. I appreciate you listening to me, hearing me out. I was at the study meeting, study session.
Yep.
You allowed me to speak. I appreciate that, Mike. I really, really appreciate that.
Of course,
I know
of
you
course.
don't let anyone speak. I appreciate everybody taking my calls, meeting up with us. I appreciate that. But we're 70. We're not many. 70 is not a lot, but these 70 homes, they feed hundreds and hundreds of people. There's hundreds of us behind these homes. They're no different, the long-term rental. I have three daughters. Stand up, girls. There's 3 of them there. You see them?
Yeah,
There's 3. I have 3 rentals. These 3 rentals are theirs. They're their rentals. They're not mine. They're theirs. And if this passes, unfortunately, I don't think I can sustain them the way I do. I don't think I can sustain them the way I do if I have someone in there full time. And then when they leave, I gotta spend $20,000, $30,000 after they leave. It makes no financial sense to me as a homeowner. These homes are, and I've said this before, these are gems. They actually are gems. And I know there's a few of them here, over in that district, but the majority of them, 95% of them are beautiful. They're just beautiful. I mean, any one of us would want to live in them. And we take care of them. I mean, we're all for regulations, but fair, something fair. Not favoring one neighborhood over all of Dearborn. It's just that, how can that be fair? It's one neighborhood against all of Dearborn in one house on Marlboro. Any other complainers? Not complainers, but anything else?
You have 30 seconds.
So I urge you guys to table this. Work with us. We're the experts in this. You guys are the experts in policy. Work with us. Come up with a resolution where everyone's happy, everyone feels safe. If there's a person in a neighborhood that's not safe, come to me. It's the mayor. These people are not feeling safe. How can we resolve this? Install cameras. Make sure you visit the house, visit the guests, something. Not a complete ban.
So your time has expired.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sally. Okay, thank you. This is our final speaker, and then we're going to move forward on the vote on this. Ma'am, just your name and address for the record.
Good evening, Mayor Hamoud, council members. My name is Mariam Zabi, and I'm a resident of Dearborn. I live on 22278 Abbey Lane. I spoke to you last week, and I appreciate you taking the time to listen to so many perspectives today and last time. At the first meeting, I shared how short-term rentals allow families visiting from overseas or out of state to have a place nearby to rest and spend time together. I also talked about how important it is for Dearborn to continue being known as a welcoming community. I mentioned before that visitors coming from vacations benefit from short-term rentals. I also want to point out that many guests are here for medical treatments, family emergencies, or work. For them, a short-term rental is often the most practical and affordable option. Tonight, I'd like to offer a broader community perspective. I'm not a host, again, and I don't have any business stake in this issue. But I do see positive impact from short-term rentals and how they have and what they have on our neighborhoods and our city as a whole. Guests who stay here spend money at our local restaurants, grocery stores, and shops. That supports small businesses and brings in tax revenue that helps Dearborn grow. When these properties are managed responsibly, they help keep homes occupied and well-maintained instead of sitting vacant or neglected. That benefits all of us as neighbors and homeowners. Yes, there may have been some problems, and no one wants disruptive properties, but there are also tools that are put in place, like noise ordinance, occupancy rules, and fines to hold those owners accountable without taking this option away from everyone through rezoning. I understand the idea of limiting rentals to downtown, where I live, but in reality, that doesn't address the concerns about neighborhood stability. It forces all visitors into one small area, drives up prices, and takes away the ability for families to stay near their loved ones in other parts of Dearborn. For many residents, this is an effective ban under a different name. Supporting neighborhoods means giving people reasonable options and enforcing rules fairly, not restricting an entire city just into a few blocks. I've noticed tonight that some of the comments have felt dismissive
You have 30
of
seconds.
the diversity that defines Dearborn. I think it's important we remember this city is home to many cultures, backgrounds, and family structures, and that our policies should reflect that inclusivity. I hope you'll consider a solution that targets specific properties causing issues, rather than removing a resource that helps families, supports our local economy, and keeps Dearborn welcoming and vibrant. Thank you.
Thank you. I do want to thank everyone for their comments, and I'd like to see if anyone else from the council has anything to say before we move forward. Councilman Hammoud? Okay.
Yeah, so, I wish everybody who's here today also had the chance to be here on Thursday, because there's a number of people we didn't hear from today that actually really moved me on Thursday. So when we first started discussing Airbnb ordinances, I was kind of somewhere on the fence and agnostic about it, because from a policy perspective, I've heard both sides of it, right? There is an anti-Airbnb wave that's been sweeping the entire globe. This isn't even just an American issue. This is something that happens all over the world. And there are many pros and cons to all the decisions we make here, and I try my best to make that off of data. And we do have to take into account the livelihood of people who operate this, but we also need to take into account, safe, thriving neighborhoods, right? So, there was one woman who really moved me last Thursday who did not speak today, and that's Ms. Bazir, who's Sultan's mom, who talked about how she had worked in the city for 20 years and turned to operating Airbnb with her son after her benefits were cut, and it enabled her to continue staying financially capable and independent without having to depend on government assistance when she didn't have the opportunity to be able to support herself on her pension and her Social Security benefits. And I think it's important to understand, we live in a capitalist society, right? Unfortunately, you need money to survive. And not all business owners or people who operate their homes or have to rent out a room or something like that are bad people. And there's a lot of people who live in these units who also rent out a room, and we are going to be banning that today. And I can say that with deep confidence, based on the discussions we've had so far on Thursday, based on the conversations we're having today, we will be affecting the lives of, even though it seems like a small number of people, we still will be affecting the lives of people. This is one of those things I struggled with personally when we banned food trucks throughout most of the city. I have a hard time doing votes when it affects people and their ability to feed their families. So I just want to keep that in mind while we're doing this. I think having empathy when we're making legislation is very important. Now, I do understand the nuisance arguments, which is why I'm extremely in support of the regulations that we've written, and I think that was a very good move on the part of our legal department and planning to figure out how we can address some of those concerns, right? Like noises, cutting the grass, things like that. We have several other companion pieces, not just this item that we're voting on right now, that are going to be addressing the nuisance aspects, which I think are long overdue. As far as the zoning aspect of this, currently we're zoning it to the downtown. However, we have discussed several times, and we've kind of heard, and I've spoken to the mayor about it. I think we do have general consensus that we will be expanding this to other business districts. The nuance of which business districts we're going to deal with later, but because for me personally, I was like, I think keeping it specifically to the downtowns, to me personally, benefits very few people and doesn't really achieve the impact, in my personal opinion. So I appreciate that we were able to kind of get there. Just going back to that empathy argument, though, I think we are shutting down an industry, in my opinion, almost overnight. I mean, 90 days is kind of where the effective date is on this right now, the way that it's written, in my personal opinion, and based on knowing business owners and things like that, that's kind of overnight, especially in real estate, and considering how much money people have locked up in this and have to find alternative methods of supporting themselves in the next couple months. So that's why one thing that I discussed, and I'm going to move an amendment, which is to push the effective date of this out to January 1st of 2026 to give people a little bit more time. That'll be about 5 months to close down all their short-term rentals that are not going to be adhering to these. And I would also encourage them to adhere to the nuisance aspect of this, because we will be going out and clamping down on any kind of complaints that we receive from now until then. But I just want you guys to know, I mean, even from my personal perspective, we heard all of you. We've listened during the study sessions. We got the chance to kind of hear more from the Airbnb owners over the past, I guess for me, it's only been about a week because I was gone for most of the last month on my honeymoon. But I really appreciate that everyone's kind of spoke up and had a voice in this, and hopefully we can continue to progress on this into the future. So with that, I do offer a motion to amend the effective date in the various portions.
Okay, Mr. Romer, just we have offer and by Councilman Enos and Councilman Abraham. Do they have to, or is it a friendly amendment? How would we handle this? So we have offer and support that met by Councilman Hammoud and Councilwoman Herrick.
Yeah, it can be treated as a friendly amendment if the person who offered and supported will accept the amendment. But to be clear, since this affects multiple article items, you're going to need to make the same amendment for each one that it impacts, not just one time. It's not applicable to each one.
Okay.
Absolutely. Councilman Abraham and Councilman Enos.
I approve it, the amendment.
The amendment. Councilman Abraham?
I'll agree.
Okay. So we will amend the article of 90 days to effective date of January 1st, 2026, which will be amended in this ordinance, and we'll have to make that amendment for each additional one. Any other questions or comments on this? Councilwoman Herrick?
Thank you, Council President. I would like just clarification. Please remind me through the 4 ordinances that we're looking at, if you could please clarify if a property is owner occupied and renting to someone for less than 30 days, this does also eliminate that opportunity for a homeowner in their own home?
I'm not certain what you're asking.
If owner occupied if somebody is renting a room out in their own home to somebody who doesn't live there all the time for less than 30 days, they're being told they cannot do this unless they're in one of the business districts that we're looking at. When the administration was researching, I know we did long research on this because all of us, but the mayor and I, over the last 3 years, all of us have heard from residents for 3 years coming forward with issues. It is not like this just happened, and it's not just from the 3 neighborhoods we heard from tonight. That we've heard from residents who have had concerns about their own lives in their own homes being impacted by short-term renters and rentals. But as we looked at this, was there an opportunity to perhaps regulate differently so that if it was owner-occupied, that it wouldn't be affected by these ordinances, or is there no way to separate them?
So I would tell you that we thoroughly considered this change over the years, as well as monitoring the potential legislation that was at the state level for a very long time that just never got passed. Yeah, we put before you what we believe to be the most.
I know how to do it. There's a limit.
Is it on, Mike?
I gotta kick someone off.
Am I not on? It's green for me.
Yeah,
It's
it
gotta
should
go
be red.
Yep.
Yeah,
There's a limit.
there's a limit, so I'm gonna
Can I
shut.
switch the mayor's?
Yeah, 1 second. And we're gonna take the clerk. Mr. Clerk.
Sorry, it's first council meeting, we're using the new mics, and they are working very well, because you can obviously hear what we're talking
go.
about, which has
There
been
you
a
go.
challenge in the past.
There's a limit, Craig. I had to shut someone off to turn it on. Okay, we'll deal with it after. And I know how to scroll. Mr. Romer?
Yeah, so as I was saying, so yes, we thoroughly reviewed our available options in addition to looking at legislation that was pending with the state at the state level, as well as case law. There's a case that was not cited. It's New Buffalo case. It's a 2023 case that dealt with this very issue with the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals. So what we put before you is what we believe to be the most comprehensive and thought-out process that, to Councilman Hammoud's point, that balances some of these challenges that you have with STRs with 30 days or less, as well as your registered rentals that are for a longer duration. So this wasn't an overnight, hey, we thought about it, as I believe someone indicated that we've been doing this for probably 3 years.
Yes.
So this isn't an out of the blue thing. Obviously, the legislation at the state level at various times impacted how we would proceed. But yeah, this is a long process, a thought-out process, legally reviewed process with the most recent case law, and I believe it would be fully supported through zoning and through the case law that is precedent in the Sixth Circuit.
Excuse me. We cannot have outbursts from the crowd, please.
Thank you. And yes, I know that we've been watching what's been happening at the state level and working with the attorneys from the Michigan Municipal League. And we were looking for an opportunity to be able to further regulate the short-term rentals. And just fairly recently, in the last year or so, as you've been working on this, it appeared that the most legal and effective way to regulate is through zoning. And I appreciate that we are thinking, what we have before us today, we can expand on that possibly to other zoning classifications other than RA residential. But I wanted to clarify about the owner occupied, because in particular, I know some of our very responsible short-term rental owners, live right next door to or behind or near the houses that they're own and manage. But unfortunately, that's not always the case. And so we see these examples that, again, we've heard for 3 years from residents in neighborhoods across the city, not just the ones you've heard from this evening. And I'd also like to note that we heard from one of the representatives of the Dearborn Federation of Neighborhoods, which represents even more neighborhoods than what we heard from tonight as well. So this is careful deliberation by council as we're looking at these ordinances and taking into consideration that Dearborn is a city of neighborhoods. We have people who come from various, backgrounds, who live side by side, peacefully together, sharing food, sometimes watching each other's children, and developing, relationships with their neighbors in their neighborhoods, and that's one of the strengths of our city. Homeowners take great pride in when they are recognized by the City Beautiful Commission with awards for beautiful landscaping and outdoor decorations. And most of our residents live within walking distance of a park or an elementary school. And residents in these peaceful neighborhoods across the city have been expressing that in their own homes, the quality of life for themselves and their children has been negatively impacted by short-term rental houses. They've been complaining about disruption, as you've heard, late at night, noise, litter, odors from trash left by partiers, and concerns that sometimes loud groups of strangers are coming and going at all hours of the day and night, and poor property maintenance. Quality of life and safety in our residential neighborhoods must be the top concern for our city council as we represent Dearborn residents. I recognize the benefits of staying in a house in a quiet neighborhood if you're alone or with your family on vacation or visiting family and friends. There are benefits to staying in a neighborhood. But short-term rental houses are not people's homes. They are businesses in the hearts of our neighborhoods. And although many who stay in short-term rentals are considerate of their surroundings, unfortunately not all of them are. And we need to put Dearborn homeowners first and their families first, strengthening our neighborhoods and moving the business out of renting short-term homes in our residential neighborhood. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Councilman. Any other comments from my colleagues? Okay, at this time, Mr. Clerk, can we have the final reading?
Yes, this is the final reading of ordinance number 25-1845, an ordinance to amend zoning ordinance of the city of Dearborn by amending Article 1 entitled Short-Term Rules of Construction and Definition, Article 4 entitled Off-Street Parking and Loading Requirements, Article 7 entitled Site Development Standards Applicable to Specific Uses, Article 11 entitled RP Residential Preservation District, Article 12 entitled RC, RD, and RE Multiple Family Residential Districts, Article 17 entitled BD Downtown Business District, and Article 27 entitled West Downtown District, with an effective date now with the friendly amendment to January 1st, 2026.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Can we have a roll call vote?
Councilmember Herrick.
Yes.
Council President Sereni.
Yes.
Councilmember Enos.
Yes.
Councilmember Hammoud.
Yes.
Councilmember Abraham.
Yes.
Councilmember El Sawafi. 5 yeas, the resolution passes. I'm sorry,
Thank
the
you.
ordinance passes.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Next item. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Item number 36, ordinance on the table, ordinance number 25-1846, an ordinance to amend section 9.02 of ordinance number 06-1111 of the city of Dearborn by rezoning the property located at 100 North Telegraph Road.
Okay, folks, we're still in session. Please try to make your way. Thank you.
From a BA local business to a BB community business zoning classification resolution by council members Hammoud and Enos to take from the table for its final reading.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Unanimous rules will be attached to take to the table for its final reading. The applicant is requesting to rezone a 100 North Telegraph Road from a local business BA to community business BB to allow for a reconfiguration and modernization of the gas station and its retail store. Its .281 acre site falls on a mixed-use center vehicle oriented designation in our master plan, which is consistent with both BB and BC zoning classification. This is the second and final reading of this ordinance. Any questions or comments on this item? Sure. Are you commenting on this item, zoning of a gas station? This is about a gas station. Okay, so you have to wait to the end of the meeting. You have to wait to the end of the meeting and we can let you speak. Okay. You have to wait to the end of the meeting, okay? Yes. Councilman Abraham.
Thank you. This is a little bit unique because this property that is proposed for rezoning sort of overlaps with our food truck ordinance that have an operating food truck on that property. So I think they should be notified that not only with this rezoning, but the previous ordinances for food trucks in our community, that the food truck operation will no longer be allowed on that parcel.
Yeah, I
Kinda
appreciate
caught
it.
in the middle.
Well, it's already
It's
scheduled, so
currently-
it wouldn't be permitted either way.
No, but it is till September.
Yeah. Well,
But-
September 1 with the effective date of the ordinance.
Right.
But
So,
you
thank you.
You can't co-share anyways.
Okay, so we just wanted to make sure that was noted. I appreciate that. Thank you, Councilman Abraham. Any other questions or comments on this item? Okay, and roll call vote, please.
This is the final reading of ordinance number 25-1846, an ordinance to amend section 9.02 of ordinance number 06-111 of the city of Dearborn by rezoning the property located at 100 North Telegraph Road from a BA local business to a BB community business zoning classification.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Can we have a roll call vote?
Council President Sereni?
Yes.
Councilmember Enos?
Yes.
Councilman Hammoud?
Yes.
Councilmember Abraham,
Yes.
Councilmember El Sawafi, Councilmember Herrick.
Yes.
5 yeas, the ordinance passes.
Thank you. Next item.
Ordinance number 37, ordinance on the table, ordinance number 25-1847, an ordinance to amend the occupancy and building standards, Chapter 11 of the Code of Ordinance of the City of Dearborn by adding Article 5, Division 1 entitled Short-Term Rentals and Division 2 entitled Non-Owner Occupied Residential Properties with an effective date of October 27, 2025. Resolution by council members Enos and Hamud to take from the table for its final reading.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Unanimous roll shall be attached to take from the table for its final reading. The City of Dearborn is introducing a new ordinance regulating short-term rentals. These homes and apartments rented out on 30 days or less, most refers to as Airbnbs. At the same time, existing rules on non-owner occupied rentals, long-term rentals, where the owner doesn't live on the site, are being moved to the same section for easier management. This ordinance is designed to ensure that short-term rentals are safe, respectable, and in our neighborhoods to be held to the same clear standards. It will allow the city to better manage complaints and reduce negative impacts on our residents. Under the new ordinance, anyone operating a short-term rental must apply for a certificate of occupancy. If the owner doesn't live on the site, must assign a local agent who lives in Michigan and is a real person, not a business entity, to be responsible for the property. All short-term rentals must be equipped with smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, and fire extinguishers. Properties with a valid certificate cannot be advertised, and owners are required to submit rental details such as name, birthday, and length of stay at least 24 hours before check-in using the city's online form. Renters must also be given information sheet outlining Dearborn's public disturbance and nuisance laws. Violations of these rules carry fines of $750 for the first offense and $1,000 for a repeat of violators. And a third separate violation in the 12-month period will result in a rental certificate occupancy revocation. Citations can be issued to whomever is responsible and present at the time, including the owner, agent, or renter. The ordinance also includes an appeals process if the rental certificate is revoked. The new rules will go into effect October 27, 2025, giving the owner's property. So this is the one, Councilman Enos?
Can we make the change on the date on this one as well?
I support.
Yep, absolutely. So we have, this was offered by Councilman Enos and Councilman Hamud. You support?
Yep.
So, Mr. Clerk, this will be amended to be in the same effective date of January 1st, 2026. Any other questions or comments? Okay, this is the second and final reading of this ordinance. Mr. Clerk, can we have the second final reading? Oh, yes, Mayor, absolutely.
I see like date of birth on here. I don't think when you book a short-term rental, you offer your date of birth. And so I would move to strike that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because I think you offer your name.
You can't move, but we can.
Yeah, I just don't think, I think this is a little too much information.
All right, sure.
Okay, this was brought forward by Councilman Enos. Councilman Enos?
Yeah, I agree.
Councilman Hamud?
I'll
And
agree.
supported. So we will strike the provision of the birthday requirement. Any objections to that? Okay, and we do have the amendment of the date as January 1st, 2026. Any other questions or comments?
I have a question.
Councilwoman Herrick?
So do we have a specific list of questions that will be asked? Because this is just example, name and date of birth. What else is being asked?
Well, Mr. Romer, I don't know if yours is on, but I reread the requirements of it. Let me turn you on there. There you go.
You have to give him permission.
That they have to provide, the renter has to provide.
Yeah, so there is a limit on here, so, Mr. Abraham, do you mind shutting down? There you go. There you go. Mr. Clerk? Mr. Romer?
Yeah, so that's listed in the qualifying information that we were going to require from the renter. So the information in there that the mayor is looking to, it's whatever you desire you want to require from the rental. I think he's just aligning with what is typically required with an Airbnb renter. So if the date of birth gets stricken, that's fine.
Right, it has been struck, and I think we had support and offer on that. So did you have another question, Councilwoman Herrick?
Well, just, so we don't have a specific list form that they need to fill out developed yet? Is that what we're saying?
Typically, we got to back end, so you got to give permission.
I'm sorry?
Don't hit the button.
He's off
Keep it
because
on.
he-
Oh, turned it off? Okay. Mr. Romer?
Yeah, so again, I think the worry was with the way it's worded in the executive summary is that we were going to require that information. So we're just going to strike it so that way the Department of Economic Development is not going to include any of that in their requirement for a renter.
The way this traditionally works is municipalities get access to a back-end system that provides the listings of the various short-term rentals across the city. And so you'd be able to use that platform to try to communicate with those that are registered rentals and then have the
Right.
information on file. This is following the New Buffalo case that occurred in Michigan. I just don't think that some of that personal information should be offered. That's all.
Right.
I
And the
agree.
question, I think we've already answered the question. The department head said that he's working on an online form. That was something we brought up in there, that we made it very clear that we wanted a streamlined process, and that has not been developed yet. That's the start date has been delayed.
That's just what I was
But
asking.
I
It's
know,
not
but
developed yet.
we've already
Okay,
talked
that's-
about that. Yeah, so we made it very clear. You want to talk to the director, or are we good? Because we
No,
made
it's
it
fine.
very
It's
clear
fine.
that the form has not been developed yet, and there will be an online form, so there's a receipt, because that was something we talked about in our meeting. Okay? All right, so we are going to strike, we're changing the date and striking the birthday requirement. Any other questions or comments?
So could I just make one?
Councilman
comment?
Hamud, yes.
Sorry, just so maybe to help a little bit clarify. I think it's section 11-317, subsection I, which is under reservation requirements. It says contact information, reservation summary form.
You want to give him the section to
Yeah, I just
change?
wanted her, yeah, well, just, it doesn't actually specify, even in the current law that we're passing, specific information, just to be clear. So all it does is say, there is a summary form that ECD is going to create. So I think it's really just the executive summary is inaccurate, not the law that we're passing. So we're not actually amending. No, but we're not actually changing anything in the law. We're just changing the executive summary.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Romer?
Yeah, but I think to the council president's point, there is an online form that will be required, and this online form references that information in the summary. So what the mayor is indicating, since
Okay.
the online form has not been developed yet, he does not want to see the date of birth in the online form that's going to be created, which goes to the council president's point that this hasn't been created yet, and it contains a reference to information, including the date of birth. So now is the time to notify the department before they create the form, whether you want date of birth included in that or not.
So it's like legislative intent.
Correct. But you can
Okay.
also just include language like included but not limited to.
Yeah, or we could talk
and
about
just
it for
give
another
more
hour.
administrative
It's the same thing we talked
Mike,
about. It's an
it's okay.
administrative
Yeah, it
aspect.
is
It's
administrative.
administrative
All right.
aspect unless we delegate it. It's the same as, I know, but we have to continue to move the meeting.
okay,
We're
Mike.
talking in circles and then recorrecting everybody else. It is administrative aspect. We indicated that we wanted the date of birth, now we indicated that we don't want it. Is there any other questions regarding this? Is there any other questions regarding it? Okay. Mr. Clerk, can we have the second final reading, please?
This is the final reading of ordinance number 25-1847, an ordinance to amend the occupancy and building standards chapter 11 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Dearborn by adding Article 5, Division 1, entitled Short-Term Rentals, and Division 2, entitled Non-Owner Occupied Residential Properties, with an effective date now of January 1st, 2026.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. And can we have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Enos.
Yes.
Councilmember Hamud.
Yes.
Councilmember Abraham.
Yes.
Councilmember El Sawafi. Councilmember Herrick.
Yes.
Council President Sereni.
Yes.
5 yeas, the ordinance passes.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Can we have the next item?
Item number 38, ordinance on the table, ordinance number 25-1848, an ordinance to amend the licenses and business regulations, chapter 12 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Dearborn by amending section 12-6 entitled License Fees, Article 17, section 12-791 to 12-799 entitled Hotels, Room Houses, and Lodging Houses and Bed and Breakfasts, resolution by council members Hamud and Enos to take from the table for its final reading.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Unanimous roll shall be attached to take from the table for its final reading. This is a companion piece with short-term rental ordinance amendments. The proposed amendments remove references to regulations for bed and breakfasts. This is being done to avoid an overlap and confusion with recent introduction of regulations of the short-term rentals, and because there are currently no active bed and breakfasts operating in the city. Because that is the case, they are similar to STRs, short-term rentals. We are also similar in use and regulation. Since there is no bed and breakfasts, it is recommended to remove these to avoid overlapping confusion. This is the second and final reading of this ordinance. Any other questions or comments? Mr. Clerk, can we have the second final reading?
This is the final reading of ordinance number 25-1848, an ordinance to amend the licenses and business regulations, chapter 12 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Dearborn by amending section 12-6 entitled License Fees, Article 17, section 12-791 to 12-799 entitled Hotels, Room Houses, and Lodging Houses, and Bed and Breakfasts.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Hamud.
Yes.
Councilmember Abraham.
Yes.
Councilmember El Sawafi. Councilmember Herrick.
Yes.
Council President Sereni.
Yes.
Councilmember Enos.
Yes.
5 yeas, the ordinance passes.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Can we have the next item, please?
Item 39, ordinance on the table, ordinance number 25-1849, an ordinance to amend the offenses chapter 14 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Dearborn by amending section 14-7 entitled Prohibiting Acts in Hotels or Bed and Breakfast. Resolution by Council Members Enos and Abraham to take from the table for its final reading.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. This is a unanimous roll should be attached to take from the table for its final reading. This is another companion piece to the short-term rental ordinance. The proposed amendment removes references to bed and breakfast in section 14.7, replaces it with the short-term rental, as well as 14.7 prohibits behavior in hotels, and is proposed in the short-term rentals, which is included but not limited to the use of or possession of controlled substances, alcohols in violation of the Code of Ordinances or damaging a room. This is the second and final reading of this ordinance. Mr. Clerk, do we have any other questions or comments on this? Can we have the second and final reading?
This is the final reading of ordinance number 25-18.
One second.
Effective date.
You wanna
I'm not
push
sure
the-
if I did on the last one, but I need the effective date changed to January.
Okay.
Yeah, we did. So, Mr. Clerk, hang on.
So I need to-
Unfortunately, we have to mute one person. So, we're going to mute Kamal. No, that's okay. Okay, Mr. Romer, can you request a? Okay. Request, there you go.
understand.
All right, Mr. Romer, go ahead, so we can hear what you were asking. You asked that we extend the date on this as well, right?
Yeah, this is one of the companion pieces where you need to extend the effective date to January 1 of 20.
All right, so, Mr. Clerk, so we have Councilman Enos and Councilman Abraham.
I
You
agree.
Yes.
Both agreed to extend the date to the same, to make it consistent of January 1st, 2026. And, Mr. Clerk, the council, Mr. Romer is wondering, is that was also indicated on the last item?
Yeah, there was no effective date on the reading that I gave, so we can add that effective date, no problem.
Okay, so, Jackie, just make sure I get the final resolution to look at that. So, item 38 and 39, 38 also requires an effective date as well, right?
Do we need that, really?
That's correct. It's the
Okay.
companion piece.
Okay, so item 39 we're on right now, Mr.
Yes.
Clerk, so make the amendment as requested by Councilman Enos and Abraham. Hearing no objections, we'll make the amendment to January 1st, 2026 to be consistent with the rest.
Yes.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, and Mr. Clerk, did you read the second reading?
I think I did, yes.
I think you did, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll call vote.
Okay, Councilmember Abraham,
Yes.
Councilmember El Sawafi, Councilmember Herrick,
Yes.
Council President Sereni.
Yes.
Councilmember Enos.
Yes.
Councilmember Hamud.
Yes.
5 yeas, the ordinance passes.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Next item.
Item 40, ordinance number 25-1850, introduced by Councilmember Hamud. Synopsis, an ordinance to amend section 9.02 of ordinance number 06-1111 of the City of Dearborn by rezoning the property located at 5146 Porath from an RB, one-family residential district, to a VP, vehicle parking district zoning classification. Resolution by Councilmembers Enos and Abraham to table the ordinance.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. And this proposed rezoning is consistent with the parcel's future land use designated in industrial logistics. However, it's not consistent, but this proposed rezoning on 5146 Porath will correct an inconsistency in the zoning pattern in this area, facilitating a better design with an overall treatment and recovery center that we had passed earlier from access. The zoning currently is RB, and the proposed zoning is VP. The Planning Commission recommended this approval on June 9, 2025. This is the first of 2 readings. Any questions or comments on this item? Okay. Hearing and seeing none, Mr. Clerk, can we have the first reading?
This is the first reading of ordinance number 25-1850, an ordinance to amend section 9.02 of the ordinance number 06-111 of the city of Dearborn by rezoning the property located at 5146 Porath from an RB to a VP zoning classification.
All right, any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item number 41, resolution by council members Al-Sawafi and Enos awarding a cooperative contract via the South Sourcewell Cooperative Program to Pentura LLC in the amount of $278,682 for the renovation of Cherry Hill Playground and requesting immediate effect.
All right, we need, Councilman Al-Sawafi
I'll support.
needs to be offered by Councilman Abraham and supported by, well, Councilman Enos is not here.
I'll offer.
Okay, supported by Councilwoman Herrick. So we have Councilman Abraham, Councilwoman Herrick. And we have pictures on the screen of this? All right, Parks and Recreation is announcing a brand-new playground that's coming to Cherry Hill Park. This existing upgrade will feature a winch, I don't know how to pronounce that. Who's here from Recreation? All right, let's get you up here because I can't pronounce this. I just know that we have some really good themes.
I'm not
At
sure
these,
what you're looking at.
I'm looking at Cherry Hill Park. Winch, I don't know how to pronounce this, some cloud thing design. Is that what it's called, cloud thing? All right, well, we're supposed to have a nice picture of that, so hopefully we'll get one for you, but.
It was the picture that was up earlier.
It was earlier, okay. This was an allocation from our council, from Wayne County Commissioner. There you go, thank you for the picture. Wayne County Commissioner Sam Bedu. So thank you for coming up, Director. It's on this, I appreciate it. So this is a new play area that is being poured in place, and it's providing safe and durable accessibility, which we talked about earlier, with modern standard and inclusive play for everyone. The new playground will be replacing the existing equipment. Councilman, would you have a question?
This is different than the same item we did?
Yeah, the other one was an allocation of funds, a receipt of money. And this is the appropriation for the actual part.
Okay, all right, fine.
All right. So the new playground will replace existing equipment, which has been in use since 1992. The Parks and Recreation Department, in conjunction with our purchasing department, recommends the purchase via cooperative contract for renovation of the Cherry Hill Park with Pentura, which has done a tremendous job throughout the city, Mayor. I can't thank the purchasing department enough. Sometimes we get some contractors. These guys are phenomenal. Tremendous job. So the contract will be valid for a one-time purchase in the amount of $278,682 and is requesting immediate effect. Any questions or comments on this item? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item number 42, resolution in need of an offer.
Offer.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. He just stepped in.
Okay, Councilman El-Sawafi is back for 42? All right, so, go ahead,
Resolution by council members El-Sawafi and Abraham authorizing to extend the contract with Wayne Metropolitan Action Agency in the amount of $45,756 for a Wayne Metro liaison as a greeter at the DAC check-in counter for the term of 1 year from September 1st, 2025 through August 31st, 2026, and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. The City of Dearborn has entered in a pilot program with the Wayne County Metro Community Action Agency in February of 2023 to provide a liaison who assists our residents with the check-in tablet process, connects them with the Wayne Metro Services, and is a greeter and sometimes translator as well. The last 2.5 years of this program have proven to be successful in supporting our residents at the DAC service desk and access to the community programs. The Community Relations Department is requesting a 1-year extension of this contract with Wayne Metro Community Action Agency to continue the employment of the liaison. The proposed extension will run through September 1st, 2025 through August 31st, 2026. The annual cost is $45,756, and the cost of the contract will remain unchanged for 2023 with immediate effect. This has been a long-standing program. It's been tremendous. I don't know if anybody's used that tablet, Mayor, but if you get off the screen, it's like crazy to get back, so I'm glad he's there. They had some Netflix on there, but I went in there, but he was there. Tremendous job. To have somebody there to help assist with technology is always a benefit. Tremendous job, so we do appreciate it. And very minimal cost. This is a partnership with the county as well, and it brings an extra body to the city of Dearborn. Any other questions or comments? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 43, resolution by council members Hamud and Enos authorizing additional expenditures to OHM advisors in the amount of $167,310 for consulting services and assistance with the drinking water asset management grant pertaining to the identification of lead water service lines and Dearborn residents.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. And the city currently has a contract with OHM Advisors and hydrological evaluation of our storm system. This has been going on for some time. The purchasing is requesting that from Department of Public Works and Facilities that we add an additional $167,310 for assistance with the drinking water assessment management, which is DWAM grant, which is related to identifying lead water service lines in the Dearborn residents, which shall be charged to this water and sewer funds project support. The total cost of the professional contract is an amount of $467,310. Is part of the grant, which is $300,000 previously allocated. The DWAM grant does not have any local match requirements and will assist with the city of Dearborn in meeting its obligation of a unfunded state mandate of our lead to copper water line service replacement throughout the city and provide public education by creating a website and story map for these replacements that are going to be going on for a few years. Any questions or comments on this item?
I have a comment.
Councilman Abraham.
Thank you. I did get some information based on conversations at the Committee of the Whole meeting, and I just wanted to point out that the city is aware of over 6,900 lead lines that need to be replaced. We have just over 1,200 lines that have unknown determinations, whether they're lead or not lead, lead lines to the homes, and that we've accomplished or replaced about 1,765 lead lines so far with this program. It's tremendously expensive. The city has a partnership program with homeowners, so if they want to expedite the replacement of a known lead line, there is a process for that that homeowners can take advantage of. So I just wanted to mention that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Any other questions or comments? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item number 44, resolution by council members Al Sawafi and Enos approving the request of the Karbala Islamic Education Center to conduct its annual Ashura Commemoration March for Justice rally on Saturday, August 16, 2025, from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. with assistance from the Police Department for traffic safety, crowd control for the entire duration of the event, subject to reimbursement for city services, applicable ordinances, and the rules and regulations of the Police Department. Also approving a noise ordinance waiver for the duration of the event and requesting immediate effect.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The annual Ashura March and Rally will commence at Karbala Islamic Education Center located at 15332 Warren Avenue in Dearborn on Saturday, August 16, 2025, from 1 p.m. till 7 p.m. Participants will proceed west on Warren Avenue to Greenfield Road and then continue south along north side of the divided highway, concluding at Ford Woods Park. The anticipated attendance is approximately 7,500 attendees. All city service, park rentals, and fees, Department of Public Works fees, and Police Department reimbursement costs will be fully reimbursed for this event by the organizers, and immediate effect is being requested. Any questions or comments on this?
Yeah.
Councilman Hood.
Seeing as the comments we heard earlier, would it be possible to start talking to the organizers about maybe moving the location, maybe something like Michigan Avenue or something in the future? Could we look into that? More parking, stuff like that.
Yeah, Mayor, Councilman Hood's request, we'll log that and we'll send it through. Jake, if you can send it through. Commander McHale, if you can step forward as well. Councilman Elswaff, you had something to add? Go ahead.
Thank you, Council President.
Microphone.
You got to press it.
Thank you, Council President.
Yep.
So this is another growing event, and I noticed last year the trash containers got filled up fairly quickly, and this is not for you, for the administration. We talked about this at the COW, to have more trash containers, more dumpsters on site to avoid having trash all over the park. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. I know John said that he's going to make sure this happens this year, and hopefully we can get that done.
All right, Thank you. We'll definitely note that as well, Jackie. And then I know that Mayor, with your administration, will be working with them because that will be additional cost for myself. I'm concerned regarding the, Commander, if you don't mind, I know that you're here tonight. I think for us, the biggest concern, I know we do a great job of securing it, but I do believe this has been a consistent call by residents about blocking driveways and fire hydrants. That, for me, is an absolute red line. So from the council, we would just like to request from the police department that be a heightened aspect during your deployment, that blocking of driveways and fire hydrants will be escalated up there on that aspect.
Absolutely, Council President. We've seen a year-over-year increase in these events. We're expecting that to continue this year. So we've increased staffing. We'll have an appropriate level of staffing to ensure the safety of vehicular pedestrian traffic and to address those the issues of the parking and the blocking the driveways.
I appreciate it. I do see it expanding, but I believe, Mayor, this one is usually a little less attended than the first one. More? I'm sorry, Mayor?
Just open
His mic.
Oh, there we go, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so
We gotta fix- there's a limit.
with this one in particular, and we've already, so the organizers for the one that already passed, next year they'll have a DPW crew that they'll pay for, like a clean streets crew that'll be working the event. To change in the garbage bags, because we try to educate the volunteers and the hosts that while we supply you the garbage bins, we need you to change the garbage bags. And so for the Ashuta March, the March of Justice is happening on the 40th with the Karbarat Center. They are paying for a 4-person DPW crew that will be walking through and gatering through and try to empty that out. We also bring roll-off dumpsters, and so we put those out. That way anybody can pick up a big bag of garbage and toss into roll-off dumpster that DPW picks up the next day. And so we've always added more garbage cans year in, year out. Obviously, with the generosity of the community, you just have so many tents that put up food at no cost, and you see a lot of folk who come in and really benefit from that. And so we do our best to contain it. Afterwards, a lot of the volunteers, if there is a mess that happens, a lot of the volunteers too tend to stay afterwards and help clean up alongside our crew. But we have begun to charge, at least implement a process where the Clean Streets crew is present, knowing just the thousands of people that come through this March of Justice.
We appreciate it, Mayor. I do notice that, and you know, it is sometimes an inconvenience for others, but it is a short term, and I think it's been managed tremendously. I do, though, think the aspect of the parking, of the blocking driveways and the fire hydrants is something that is definitely, we could look at a little bit better, so hopefully we can take a look at that.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Commander. Any other questions or comments on this item? Any objection, unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Okay, we're going to move to 46, resolution by council members Al-Sawafi and Hammoud authorizing to execute the 2025 AARP Community Challenge Grant Agreement for enhancing pedestrian safety in the city. Also authorizing the finance director to recognize grant revenue in the amount of $19,323 in the local street fund, miscellaneous revenues account, and appropriate the same in the local street fund public works expenditures and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Pedestrian safety is a top priority for both the residents and our administration, as we are always concerning about our pedestrians. In response, the city has invested in pedestrian crosswalk safety initiative that installs flashing pedestrian cross signs in key locations throughout the city. The AARP Community Challenge Grant provides an opportunity to secure funding to expand a broader pedestrian safety initiative to address areas near senior housing where older adults, in particular, vulnerable due to their reduced visibility and lack of accessibility to the structures. The AARP Community Grant Program is an annual grant designated to fund quick action projects such as this that make the communities more livable, with participation and focus on ages of residences of 50 and older. Is that 50, Mr. Mayor?
Yeah.
It's not that old. Philanthropy and Grants Department, along with our Department of Public Works, requests the Finance Director to authorize and appropriate $19,323 from our local street fund and miscellaneous revenues and appropriate in the same with immediate effect. Any questions or comments on these? Councilman Hammoud.
This is great because just this past week I had the pleasure of attending the ribbon cutting for the new Suzanne Serini housing building. And one of the first things I actually heard was complaints crossing the street, so they're going to think we really got on this.
That was a tremendous event.
It was a great event.
Any other questions or comments? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 47, resolution by council members Hamud and Abraham authorizing the finance director to recognize and appropriate grant funding from the Office of Highway Safety Planning Operational and Planning Programs and the 2025 Michigan Drug Court Program through the State Court Administrative Office in the amount of $63,000 to support operations at the 19th District Court Hybrid DWI Drug Treatment Court for the period of October 1, 2024 to September 30th, 2025, and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. The 19th District Court applied for grants through the 2025 Office of Highway and Safety Planning, or OHSP, operational and planning programs for the 2025 Michigan Drug Court Program. The court was awarded $59,000 from OHSP program and $4,000 from MDCG. The grants will be used to support the 19th District Court Hybrid Drug and DUI Treatment Court. The purpose of these are to reduce substance abuse and promote public safety by providing treatment-based sentencing alternatives for non-violent offenders and to charge with offenses related to abuse or additional drug or alcohol related. There's no city matching of this requirement. The grant funds will cover expenses associated with the drug and alcohol testing programs from the participants. Immediate effect is also being requested. Any questions or comments on this item? All right. Step forward.
Good evening, council members. My name is Megan Mattern, and I'm the treatment court coordinator at the 19th District Hybrid DWI Drug Treatment Court. Our program was awarded 2 grants in September 2024, but the program was without a coordinator at the time. I was hired in October, and the initial focus was getting me up to speed. Once we realized this authorization step had been missed, we quickly acted to get on your agenda and bring it forward for council review. Our program received $59,000 from the Office of Highway Safety Planning and $4,000 from the Michigan Drug Court Grant Program. Both grants are overseen by the State Court Administrative Office and are used to support the core elements of the program. That includes drug and alcohol testing, treatment services, participant education, staff training and travel, and essential program supplies. There is no city match required. For anyone unfamiliar with the program, a treatment court is a specialized court docket designed for individuals whose substance abuse is a key factor in their criminal justice involvement. Instead of going through traditional sentencing, eligible participants are offered an intensive, court-supervised program focused on recovery, accountability, and support. Participants work through structured phases that include treatment, frequent drug and alcohol testing, case management, and regular appearances from the judge. A dedicated team, including the judge, probation, treatment providers, and myself, meet weekly to track progress of all of these participants. To date, we have successfully graduated 70 participants. Treatment courts are evidence-based and proven to improve public safety. Last year, they analyzed outcomes from all drug courts across Michigan. For our program, only 8% of participants were convicted of a new crime within 3 years. That's compared to 16% in a similar group outside the program, meaning our participants were half as likely to reoffend. That's a 50% reduction in future crime, a clear sign that the program is making a meaningful impact on our community. Looking ahead, I'm committed to grow and strengthen this program. One of my next goals is to establish a treatment court advisory board to bring together community partners, participants, and other stakeholders. By increasing local involvement, we can build long-term sustainability and ensure the program continues to meet the needs of our participants and the Dearborn community. In closing, I respectfully request that council authorize with the acceptance and appropriation of these grant funds with immediate effect. Thank you for your time, your attention, in supporting this important work in our community.
Well, Megan, thank you. I know I was not here Thursday to see you come on this time, but we really appreciate it. We're going to have to put you on the list to come for the court during their their budget hearings, because they never provide stats like that. So whoever hired you to run this job.
Thank you.
And if you have a problem over there at the courts, you come back to this building.
You guys will see me more from now on, because I'm trying to get the whole community involved, because it's just a good program. So.
We do appreciate it. But
Yes,
statistically aspect, I mean, the courts, I love our court system, but they have a mindset that they're to administer justice, and the money's had no aspect. So when you tell us that we have a 50% turnaround in that aspect and an 8% difference, that is tremendous. I know that I did a story on this drug court when our chief judge in the past, Gene Hunt, came out with this program. So we do really appreciate this. This is great that you came. It does matter. Everything helps. And people do need these services. And it's working. But we need those stats, so we do appreciate that.
Yeah, I can give
so
you
we'll see
even
you during
more,
the,
so.
we'll see you during budget season. All right. Councilwoman Herrick?
Thank you, Council President. Thank you, Megan, for, again, sharing the statistics. The impact of those programs is so important for obviously the people who are going through them, but broader to their families and the communities in which they're involved. I think that you are an excellent representative for the 19th District Court. And the kind of information you're sharing that's things a lot of the time people in Dearborn don't realize that that's happening. And so I can help you. I'd be happy to help you connect with some community organizations that might want to hear you as a guest speaker to talk about the impact of programs like the drug treatment program, namely Rotary Club of Dearborn. I'd like to invite you as their new president, just elected taken the oath of office this week. Your presentation is the kind of impactful information that we like to share with Rotary and with some of the other community organizations here, so that we can also, our members can be ambassadors to talk about those things across the city.
Yes, I would love that.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, great, thank you. Any other questions or comments? Thank you, Megan.
Thank you.
Any objection, unanimous roll. Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 48, resolution by council members Enos and Hamud authorizing to adopt the part-time, seasonal, and temporary employee salary plan effective the first full pay period after July 1, 2025, and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. The Human Resource Department is requesting approval for a part-time, if you'd like to step forward, seasonal and temporary employee salary plan. The last plan went into effect in 2019. Since 2019, our staff needs have changed, as well as the cost of living has changed, of course. The objection is to ensure that our part-time seasonal people also met with the skill or have the compensation that's needed. The plan is requesting a 6% pay increase on all part-time and seasonal staff through the current payroll. This implementation on the salary plan will be managed by our Human Resource Administrator and will be effective for the first full day period after approval. The rate increases are for 2026 fiscal year, which will include the adopted budget of the city. The City Council had did it with no additional appropriation is being required. And we have our HR Director here. Thank you.
Good evening.
Introduce yourself.
Yes, Danielle Cheney, Human Resources Administrator. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you very much. I know I appreciate you staying for your being here for your item, and since it's a requirement as well. So I wanted to make sure you were here, but I appreciate it because I know that is from the HR, we were looking for much more full-time employees. We've been going that route. But it's very important because sometimes we do get lost sight that there's seasonal employees and part-time employers. To have no raise increase in 6 years, I really thank you for bringing this forward. And I know we had compensation studies, so I'm sure this is in line. You think this will help us retain more people?
Absolutely. I had mentioned last week at our COW meeting that in 2027, the Michigan state law will increase minimum wage to $15. So what we're doing is getting ahead of that by 2 years, which makes us more attractive and more competitive.
That's right.
Yeah, so I do believe it will be positively impactful.
I do appreciate it, and thank you for bringing it forward. As we indicated, I know the mayor, a lot of time when I speak with him regarding the part-time, he mentions the seasonal skilled workers, which is also very, very important. Sometimes that gets lost.
Yep.
So this is a combo package, so we do appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Councilman Hamud?
Yeah, no, I think we talked about this a little bit at COW, but we'll talk about it again for the residents. One is, I think myself and a lot of other council members really appreciate the $15 minimum wage that we're trying to set here at the city. I think it's something that when I ran for office, I heavily supported, so I appreciate you and the administration for getting behind that. And then the other joke we made was, Jeremy is going to have a tough time with this, negotiate against himself and give more pay to everybody, but as our labor negotiator, but we'll let that slide this time. So thank you so much for championing this, and hopefully this leads to better employees and better morale and quality of work throughout the city.
Thank you, and I had great help. Jeremy and Michael were part of the team, so I did not do it alone.
No, you're right.
Thank
There's always a team behind,
Yep.
and sometimes they wear flashy shirts and sometimes just some traditional shirts, but they're always there. The finance director's always behind every aspect, so we do appreciate it. Mayor?
Yeah, I was going to comment a few things. One, thankful for everybody who worked on this, but I think it's our commitment to invest in our own employees. We obviously had record compensation agreements across the board for the bargaining units and the full-time staff. And when we first came on, parental leave was not even a benefit that was offered.
That's right.
And now we offer 8 weeks parental leave, and now this is another milestone, ensuring that nobody in the city makes less than $15 an hour. I think a little late to the game, but still we're able to build it in an appropriate timeline, given the financial circumstances of our city. And so I think this is just another step forward in the continued investment that we're making in our staff, in addition to the grant that we received to reinvest in this building, in our DPW building, and other facilities across the city. So just want to thank everybody for working on this. It's taken us some time to get here, but it was definitely worthwhile.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 49, resolution by council members Abraham and El Sawafi amending section 3.3, 3.4, 4.3, and 7.3 of the council rules of order and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. The amendments eliminating the old meeting start time for our committee of the whole and our council meetings. These are our council rules. Requires the council president to approve or to add any late items to our committee of the whole and the council agenda, which requires late items to appear as new business as well, and the requirement for the council members to exit the chambers where there's a conflict or exists as historically done. Any questions or comments on this? I was not here on Thursday, but I know Councilman Abraham had championed some of this. Any questions or comments on these?
Yeah.
Councilman Hammoud?
Yeah, so we talked a lot about this one at the COW, and where we ended up at COW is actually different than where we ended up today. So I had the chance to talk to our parliamentarian, Jeremy Romer, who did inform me that the rules as amended in 7.3 would preclude us from being able to do any agenda items without the approval of the council president at the Tuesday meeting. So, I mean, for me personally, I think I'm fine with all of the changes up until the 7.3 changes. Those I think I'd like us to discuss a little further personally. So we can talk about a little bit more, or I mean, we can also just vote on some of the changes that we're doing, which I'm totally fine with. But I think generally the body wants to talk about the changes to 7.3 because we agree with the spirit of what it's trying to do. But I think the implementation of it is a little bit heavy. So that's basically where I stand on it.
Okay. Councilman Herrick?
I appreciate Councilman Hammoud's comments because I agree. I think we need a better understanding of how council members can work together to add something to the agenda. If two of us would like to work together to add something after differently than is written before us right now. So if that means separating this item out from the other changes that are being made, I'd like to propose that we separate it.
Okay, Councilman Abraham, you were the offerer of it. Yeah.
So I guess from my perspective, my preference would be to bring everything forward as one item. I don't think it's significant to bring forward amendment to the rules of order for the clerical items in 3.3, 3.4, and 4.3. I think the substance of this is 7.3. So if we can't have consensus on what's written, I suggest that we go back to the table and figure out how to get the language in alignment.
Okay. Councilman El Sawafi?
Thank you, Council President. I think there's a mistake in the agenda. I think it was supported by Councilman Hammoud rather than myself.
Right.
But that's an error in the agenda. But on the actual topic itself.
On this item?
Yeah, actually, I'd support
I
it.
had Abraham and Herrick. That's not correct?
It says here El Sawafi and Abraham.
Mr. Clerk, what did you read in the record for item number 48?
I read in Abraham and El Sawafi.
Well, okay, my paper says Abraham and Herrick.
It should have said Abraham and Hammoud.
Okay, so I mean, which one is it? I wasn't.
Abraham and Hammoud.
Abraham and Hammoud, okay. Is that your understanding?
That's correct.
Okay. So Councilman Hammoud would like to make an amendment, Councilman Abraham would like to wait, and Councilman Swabi, you had something to add, or just that was it correct?
Well, a comment. A few things for me. I think every council member was elected to represent their constituents, and requiring the council president approval to place an item on the agenda gives one member unequal procedural power, which, in my opinion, contradicts the intent of the charter. And just for clarification, we're not talking about you personally as a council president, it's the position. And I don't think it would be right to, require the council president to add something on the agenda. It's even actually further than, you said Tuesday you can't bring something. It's actually, you can't bring something after Friday before the cow. So it's well beyond a week.
Friday before, the cow's on Thursday. Well, first of all,
yeah, the
well,
Friday
I know, but let's
before the
make sure
cow.
we got it right. First of all, I didn't bring this amendment, number one. And number two, my understanding of this from Councilman Abraham is that we are bringing on tremendous amount of late items. And the late items, Mr. Romer, can you tell us what the late item date? Because Councilman Sawafi is indicating the Friday before the cow, which we don't even get the cow the Friday before the cow. So let's make sure, because we don't want to mix words and have the wrong information, because from my understanding, we get the cow, Jackie, not a week before the cow meeting on Thursday. So this is, the intent of this, unless I'm wrong, was to make sure that someone doesn't walk something on Tuesday after the meeting Thursday and Friday. So Mr. Romer, can you clarify, Councilman Al-Sawafi is talking about almost 8 to 10 days prior to the cow. Oh, go ahead. Did it go on? Because we, okay.
Yeah, I'm red. So no, Councilman El Sawafi is correct. This regulates the deadline for cow and council meetings, as well as members of the public from unilaterally being able to put items on with just the support of 2 council people.
Well, member of the public could not put them on anyways. We changed that already.
I know, but this adds the added caveat that you also now need the council president's approval to do that as well.
For the cow?
Yes, it's cow and the regular meeting. It's to Councilman Abraham's point, it's so that you don't ultimately get a surprise on Tuesday, this meeting.
Okay. So, yeah, Councilman Abraham, has indicated maybe we should look at that. For me, I think Councilman Abraham had brought this discussion to me because what was happening is we were having a lot of walk-on items late on Tuesday. So, but I have not seen the draft list because I was out of town as well, as far as for Thursday. But when you say Councilman's correct about the Thursday before, is that correct as far as the time frame? Or are you just indicating if on Thursday a council member cannot add something on the cow on Thursday? Because that's not my understanding. The cow actually sets our Tuesday meeting, so is that the way it was written?
The deadline for cow is the Friday before the committee whole at 5.
Okay.
And right now, you can add any item, any one of you can add an
Yes.
item to cow or council with the support of just another council member.
Right, which is what I suggested we changed in the beginning of the term, correct?
That's correct. That was a new change.
All right,
as
yeah,
well.
so no, I don't have a problem. Like I said, for me, I think the concern was after the cow was the concern. That's what my understanding was. So I don't have a problem whatsoever if we want to just withdraw it. I think Councilman Abraham would rather bring it all at once. For me, my concern was shared with Councilman Abraham that the Tuesday was the concern, bringing on late items. Because before I got here, you could have somebody from North Carolina put something on the agenda on the committee of the whole. Without any question. That was the rules for 30, 40, 50 years. And I stopped that right away. You have to have a support of a council member. So my only concern is administrative aspect for the Tuesday. So I have no concern. To me, the cow, I think, is actual meeting that we do most of the work on. So I don't support that either. I think the cow is something that we find out during that day that we need stuff.
So
I agree, yeah. Councilman Abraham?
I'll make a motion to table item 49 until we can get the language clarified.
Okay, Councilman Hamud, you...
Okay, I'll support that. So I guess
Mr. Romer, do we need to vote for the tabling if we have offer and support?
I can just withdraw I'll withdraw my.
I know, but I'd rather table
The
it. so
motion
stay-
is to table.
Yeah, I'd rather motion the table. You
Okay,
support?
All right, that's fine, I'll support.
All right, does anybody object to unanimous roll to table it, and then we'll flush that out? Okay, unanimous roll shall be attached to table this ordinance. Thank you. Next item.
Item 50, resolution by council members Al Sawafi and Hamud concurring in the appointment of Zainab Ali to the City Beautiful Commission with the term ending June 30th, 2028, and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. So we'd like to thank all of our commissioners. The commissioners on all of our volunteer aspect take a lot of time and do valuable work. So we want to thank them all for their service. And this item here is an appointment of Zainab Ali to the City Beautiful Commission for a term of June 30th, 2028, and is requesting immediate effect. This term will run for 3 years and will end on June 30th, 2028. Any questions or comments on the side? Any objection, unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 51, resolution by council members Hamud and Enos concurring in the appointment of Laura McCallum to the City Beautiful Commission with a term ending June 30th, 2028, and requesting immediate effect.
This is an appointment for Laura McCullum to the City Beautiful Commission. The term will end on June 30th, 2028. Any questions or comments on this item? Any objection, unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Concurring, item number 52, resolution by council members Abraham and Hamud concurring in the appointment of Ali Makarab, I believe it is, to the City Beautiful
close enough.
Commission with a term ending June 30th, 2028, and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. The appointment of Ali Makarab to the City Beautiful Commission. Sorry about the pronunciation. This is a 3-year term ending on June 30th, 2028. Any objection, unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 53, resolution by council members Abraham and Enos concurring in the appointment of Mohammed Ralib to the City Beautiful Commission with a term ending June 30th, 2028, and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. This is an appointment for Mohammed Rahab to the City Beautiful Commission, the term ending June 30th, 2028. And again, thank them for their service. Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 54, resolution by council members Enos and Abraham concurring in the appointment of Patrick Ruggiero to the Dix Verner Business District Improvement Authority with a term ending June 30th, 2029, and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. This appointment for Patrick Ruggiero for the Dix Verner Business District Improvement Authority for a 4-year term ending June 30th, 2029. I'd like to thank him for his service. Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 55, resolution by council members Hamud and Enos concurring in the appointment of Steve Witkowski to the East Dearborn Downtown Development Authority with a term ending June 30th, 2028, and requesting immediate effect.
This appointment of Steve Witkowski in the East Dearborn Downtown Authority is a 4-year term ending June 30th, 2028. This is a completion of a term from Deborah Allen Guido's term. Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 56, resolution by council members Enos and El Sawafi concurring in the appointment of Dr. Claudia Walters to the Environmental Commission with a term ending June 30th, 2028, and requesting immediate effect.
And I want to thank them again, this appointment of Dr. Claudia Walters, the commission for our Environmental Commission, 3-year term ending June 30th, 2028. Any objection, unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
We have a walk-on item, item 57, resolution by Council President Sereni in need of support,
Support.
Supported by Councilwoman Herrick.
authorizing the finance director or designee to remove the delinquent water lien due to the misapplied payment error on the 2024 tax roll in the amount of $425.83 for the property located at 23038 Park Street and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. This is was brought to us by a resident who had misappropriated a water bill on a wrong account number. He is asking for this to be removed from his tax roll. It requires council action. He did pay the necessary penalties, and the payment in full was verified by our Treasury Department. So this is just something that is required to remove from the tax bill, because it would have been double charged then. Any questions or comments? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
That concludes tonight's agenda. Thank you.
All right, thank you. From the council, I just wanted to mention a couple of retirements. I know we have our commander, Andrew Lazansky, that's retiring after 25 years of service. See the videos on TV. He's a great guy, tremendous man. We're going to miss him. He was a great budget man. He actually brought good numbers, so I know that's going to be a really hard person to miss. He had a lot to do with the financial aspect. We also have Brian Yakari of 25 years as well from the Dearborn Police Department retiring. It's a great service when you see these gentlemen who put a lot of time in, get those years of service and go on in a relatively young life to continue on in a second career. That's the benefit of what they do and putting their lives on line. So I wanted to make sure we mentioned them. I also want to mention we have homecoming coming up August 1st to Sunday, August 3rd. It's always a great time. I know we got some great things going on, and every year it gets better and better and better. So I wanted to make sure that I did mention that. And I know we have pre-sale tickets. Check out the website. The website, the city of Dearborn, has vastly improved and much more user-friendly for you to check out as well. And then I just wanted to thank my colleagues that were in attendance and those that supported that renaming campaign that we had for my mom. It was a tremendous honor. My brother came in from his deployment in the Navy, and it was a tremendous event. So Mayor, thank you. It was a great time, and the best part for my mom is she said, "Oh, I didn't want any of this. I didn't prepare anything," and pulled out 3 pages. If anybody was there, I was like, "Ma, I knew you'd be ready." So that's my mom. But I'll tell you what, Trailblazer. Yeah. You said don't run for mayor. She said she don't want no more jobs. She is very happy at home. So, but it's a tremendous honor for my family and for my mom, to come in and organize business districts and create the things that she did in a time where people didn't really have that much aspect and access to the government. And then, to be elected, for 24 years and to be the first Muslim woman to be elected in the United States was a great honor. It trickled down through my entire family. We'd have people sleeping in our basements all the time, coming over with shut-off notices, asking my mom, what do I do with this? And, that's the real work that gets done. And, as I said during my time, she never kept score. She never kept a list of who she helped and who she didn't help. And it shows, when you do things for the right reasons, people see it. When you don't, they see that very, very clearly too. And then, that's the thing that I wanted to just thank my colleagues that did vote in support of it. And of course, Mayor, I appreciate your suggestion. I know that this was something that the renaming of both the Hubbard to O'Reilly West was something that was on the mind, even in our last term when we renamed the ballroom. So it was a great honor, and I just wanted to thank you all that did attend and were able to come. So. Besides that, I'd like to open up to my council members. Councilwoman Herrick.
Thank you, Council President. On behalf of Jack Tate at our Dearborn Historical Museum, we'd like to share that the Historical Museum will hold its annual vintage sale August 15 and 16 at the McFadden Ross House on the property at the corner of Brady and Michigan Avenue. The pre-sale is Friday, August 15th from 1 till 6 p.m. There's a $5 donation requested to attend the pre-sale sale. And then the Saturday, August 16th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., you can attend the sale for free. If you are interested in hosting a table and selling items there, contact the Dearborn Historical Museum, because I know they always look for folks to come in and host tables and sell their own items. Then I would like to also invite the public and my colleagues on council and anybody in attendance to evening panel discussion entitled Housing for All, Addressing Insecurity and Affordability, being hosted by the Intercultural Communities Center in Dearborn, a nonprofit organization. July 28th, Monday, July 28th from 7 to 9 p.m. at Christ Episcopal Church at 120 North Military Street in Dearborn. Participating panelists will include Dearborn Public Schools, the City of Dearborn, other nonprofit organizations, and a presentation from University of Michigan. So hope if you're interested, Housing for All on July 28th. Thank you.
Councilman Al-Swafi. Thank you, Councilman Herrick.
Thank you, Council President. I want to revisit an outstanding request that's been pending since April 17th that I put in. This was a request for enforcement data and air monitoring results tied to 2 important environmental ordinances that we passed by this body related to the dust control ordinance and the bulk storage and handling ordinance. These ordinances that we passed were designed to reduce fugitive dust and improve the air quality for residents that they breathe. Through this council, we also approved the purchase of air monitoring equipment to evaluate that outcome. So I did put in a request, and I didn't receive a response. So I want to talk to the director, maybe public health first, some questions related to that, if you're available.
I'll speak to it. You actually got a response in your inbox shortly before the council meeting commenced. And a few things, I think you're confusing what the actual ordinance was passed, where you believe that the city is responsible for collecting of the wind data as well as the enforcement, the proactive enforcement. The ordinance as passed in the bulk storage requires the corporations to be the one to provide us the wind data. We have sent you the wind data for that first quarter. Additionally, there were no reported incidents or violations for that time. As it pertains to the air quality monitors that we have that are run by Just Air, those are obviously handled by a third party. There's no immediate entry into a historical database. We're actually trying to build that out with them, but you're happy to sign up for the air quality monitors that residents get across the city. It's also important to note you can select the air quality monitor nearest to you. On the effectiveness on the ordinances, I know that was also part of your request, as it pertains to track out and bulk storage. Track out was the one that was passed actually in the prior admin that I helped craft.
Right.
And at that time, as it pertains to track out, we utilized it to go after some companies, one in particular located at Wyoming and Southern, Pro V, which ended up in court, ended up in a legal settlement where they are to invest nearly $4 million, and those investments have already commenced in connecting with our economic development team. And I imagine that construction in that parcel will actually be occurring over the next year. The majority of the underground infrastructure work happening this summer into the early fall, with hopefully the completion of the pavement by next year, I imagine. Secondly, we also had cited Levy Corporation, and what you saw there was for them to pave their exit off of Mercier Street, I believe, and that was also due to the fact that we cited them on the track out provision. As it pertains to bulk storage, there was obviously a delay in the start date, but also a delay given to the failed publication of Dearborn Pressing Guide and publishing the ordinance, which council then corrected later on.
Yeah, 3 times.
I think it happened twice.
3 times.
Yeah, and then there was obviously a variable correction date for those that had a state permit relative to those that do not have a state permit. And so what I can tell you on this provision, the largest corporation that would be impacted would be Cleveland Cliffs. Cleveland Cliffs has submitted their bulk storage plan. They have come into compliance 100%. They're not asking for any variances, meaning they will have no piles above the 25 feet. This also has to do with the fact that they're shutting down their blast furnace as of July 1st, which has just passed, which also means that they're not asking for any variances on the storage of carcinogenous materials on their properties outdoors that would have required full screenings. Additionally, for the remaining companies, we actually have current appointments to visit their sites to speak about the plans that they have submitted. So there's another 2 corporations that the team is currently working through to ensure compliance on the bulk storage side. So I would say we've had wins across the board. We actually have another company right now that we have been citing on the track out ordinance, and we imagine that that will proceed to a potential shutting down of that entity as well. I don't want to speak out in advance right now, but I think it's been a very strong win for public health. We haven't seen this level of measures that have been taken historically speaking. So. It's been
and then, Mayor, we also shut a road down, which also allowed the company.
We eliminated truck traffic.
Yeah,
Eagle Street.
Yeah, they redirected the traffic as well, which was also good.
Correct.
Yeah.
Any other question, Councilman?
Yes, just going back to the air quality monitors, so do they collect data?
The air quality monitors collect data. It's on Just Air. Just Air Systems right now is giving us single day perspectives. We haven't been able to collect the full historical data. That was a part of a grant initiative through the MineX Energies that I first had locked in as a state rep, and that included the Just Air's installation of air quality monitors. I believe Wayne County is also installing their own set, in addition to the water quality sensors that we have along the Rouge River and the various viaducts.
So there's no analysis on this data, it's just day to day, so we can't see trends. For example, and the reason why I brought this up and I asked the initial question is, we're passing these ordinances, we want to see the impact.
Yeah. I think I just spoke to several impacts. You're talking about one company that went to court and lost and has to spend $4 million. Also FPT, we cited heavily. They have lost their C of O. They've been without a C of O for over 2 years. They're also located on Wyoming Avenue. You saw a Levy company make a 6-figure investment as it pertains to the paving as it pertains to their track out. And so I would say these are incredibly huge public health wins, so much so that the city of Detroit has FOIA'd our economic development team to try to understand how we have leveraged these ordinances to achieve these outcomes, because they have been unable to do so.
No, I understand, and that's great wins and some results, but still at the end of the day, what is the air quality like? And if we don't have the data, to actually show, hey, we're progressing in the right way. We can give tickets all day, make people do things, but if we don't have that data, but you're saying it collects on a daily basis and doesn't collect historical data, so that doesn't really help in that aspect.
Just Air is working on the historical data portal across their entire platform. To your points about is air quality improving? Here's what the air quality monitors tell us. Is it a good air quality day? Is it a bad air quality day?
Right.
Is it neutral? Is it bad for sensitive populations? So on and so forth. To your point, is it changing the emissions? The city of Dearborn does not control the emissions. So what the state approves for a factory to emit out into the air, we have no authority. Now, is air quality going to detect something different in the particulate matter? Not entirely. I think where you're going to see a large shift in air quality along Wyoming and the south end, I think largely due to the shutting down of the blast furnace. When that occurred at U.S. Steel, you saw a significant decrease in a lot of emissions, largely due to a fairly polluted process in making steel that is no longer active currently at Cleveland Cliffs. I think as it pertains to fugitive dust, that is something that you can examine with the naked eye, and I think there we're seeing improvements on track out, given the pavements are happening. I don't think we've seen it just yet at Pro V. They're currently still being cited, but I think upon completion of the full underground infrastructure work, which the court has ruled them to, as well as the full paving of their parcel, I think we'll see significant improvements on that property.
And Mayor, the court ruling is based on the ordinance, is that correct?
It's based on the ordinance, and they are bound to make the investment, and our economic development team did a phenomenal job in reviewing the plans that they submitted, ensuring that we held them to the highest possible standard and making a fairly substantive investment that they would have otherwise not made.
Correct. No, thank you, Mayor. And that was my point, is as it relates to the ordinances that we pass and how that impacts the air quality, not stuff that the state passes in their regulations. As far as enforcement, I haven't looked at my email. I know I mentioned that I sent this April 17th with a follow-up June 23rd, and then again July 14th, where you said you sent it while this meeting started, so I haven't checked yet. But does it have how many citations or notices of violations have been issued under the dust control or the bulk storage ordinances?
Well, the bulk storage ordinance just went into effect for a lot of the companies that submitted their plans. I can tell you there have not been any violations issued on bulk storage. As it pertains to track out and fugitive dust, track out primarily, there's been many citations. I don't know if this email contains that, but the team, it's not something that's like readily available in our system. So sometimes it's code enforcement is the team that handles these issuance of violations. They've had some turnover, but they're not fully staffed. And so we can try to ask them how many citations they issued.
Okay, yeah, if we can get that, just for the record, how many citations or notices of violations for both of the ordinances that we passed? And then are there any repeat offenders? And as fines, are they being collected? Are they paying the fines or not? So if we get that, what do you believe the timeline is to get that information?
I'll have to check with the team. So I'll get back
About a
with
week?
Renault.
You think a week is good?
Let's check back with Renault and then have to see.
Okay.
I know he's training 4 new personnel right now.
Okay.
We just joined the team.
All right, any other questions?
No, that's all I have. Thank you.
That's it? All right, anything else from my colleague? Councilman Hammoud?
Just a small follow-up question on that. Could we get like the number of citations you've done on fugitive dust and track out, just like the raw number?
On track out, yeah.
Or if you can have a breakdown, that would be even better. But like track out, fugitive dust, all that stuff that you were just talking about, those citations. And I'd like to give us those.
That's what he asked.
We primarily target.
Oh, I didn't see that.
We primarily
Personally.
target track out.
Oh,
because
okay,
that's
whatever.
the easiest measure to determine. Fugitive dust, we don't get many calls of violation on fugitive dust. The point of the bulk storage ordinance was to have a preventative measure
Yeah,
in place.
compliance.
Yeah, when you limit the bulk storage piles to less than 20 to 25 feet and under, the science significantly suggests that the likelihood of fugitive dust is to be reduced.
And that was very aggressive, Mayor. I mean, we had legal concern
correct.
about the
I mean,
aspect
City
of
of
legal
Detroit has
aspect of
50
that.
feet, and I think what's
Right.
also important is, the corporation with the largest piles, Cleveland Cliffs, has come into compliance or submitted their plan to come into compliance without
Right.
seeking any variances, and I think obviously largely due to their changing economic conditions.
All right, excellent. Anything else from my colleagues? All right, I did miss Councilman Hu's birthday on July 4th. It's my job to make sure everybody has a happy birthday, but because his wonderful wedding that I was in attendance, and then I think you went like on a 60-day honeymoon.
He was
I
celebrating,
didn't know
no
if he was
problem.
back. I'll tell you, I always are concerned when somebody's honeymoon is that long.
I'm sick of you guys, you know?
Well, I know that you frequent a place overseas in Europe that you love, and I wish you the best. And
I'm so happy I got to share it with my wife on
That's
my
right,
birthday.
that's
so,
right.
It was her first time going to France, so.
It was nice.
It was really, really nice.
Yeah, well, I could definitely tell that you had a lot of good food over there, and I know you knew the area, so
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
And we do appreciate it. I mean, you're a very young man to put this work in here at the city. It is appreciated. I know it's going to be taxing on the wife, but I know that your heart's in it, so
Yeah,
we
she
do
doesn't know
appreciate
what's
it.
coming for her, poor girl.
You got to take me to that flower field. You always take
Oh
pictures.
yeah,
of.
Valenzold, lavender fields.
Lavender.
It's actually very, very beautiful.
There's one in Detroit. Yeah,
All right.
there's one in
Something like that,
Detroit.
yeah.
Anything else from my colleagues before I ask the mayor? All right, Mayor, anything from the administration?
I think just highlighting a few things. I think many people might have seen that we've been doing neighborhood walks. Today we
Yes.
did the Riverbend neighborhood. Yesterday we were in the Salina neighborhood. We also had our South End Business Walk yesterday. And so we have the list of all the walks online. Just Dearborn.gov, go to the events page, go to the mayor's neighborhood walks,
Yeah.
and you're free to join us on any neighborhood walk that we're a part of. Only request is that you walk and not stop to have long conversations, because we only get 2 hours to walk through.
Yeah.
And so we've been doing this for 2 years, and we've made several dozen neighborhood walks across the city. Second, there's a town hall that we're hosting with businesses and neighborhoods, in particular in the west downtown Michigan Avenue district. This is regarding West Village Road and the closures that have been occurring and have not been occurring on West Village Drive. So we just want to talk with the businesses and the residents, get feedback. And so for those that are in the area, we have notices going out to the townhomes that are in the area, as well as to all the businesses, working with our neighborhood liaisons and business liaisons. And then just a few events that are coming up. We have Dearborn Movie Night, which is being hosted at the Peace Park East. This is both on July 17th and July 24th. I believe the 17th is Mufasa. Movie starts at 8:30. I wasn't able to finish the movie because my daughter got too scared and I had to leave, so excited to finally finish the movie. And so excited for everybody to hopefully come out for that movie night. And then the last thing I'll speak to is the grand opening ribbon cutting ceremony for the Marianne Wright Animal Adoption and Education Center. This is obviously the third phase of the animal shelter. So excited to be part of that ceremony July 19th at noon to 4 p.m. Obviously right behind us over here.
Thank you, Mayor. That's it? Okay, anything from the clerk? Mr. Clerk?
No, I just wanted to thank the administration and the council for approving such a great entertainment lineup for Dearborn Homecoming. I think it's going to draw a lot of people in, and I hope to see a lot of people there because of the great entertainment. So appreciate that.
It is a great time. Like they said, some of the people that do the entertainment cannot believe we're not charging people for this stuff. This is a great event and tremendous sponsors as they continue to grow.
Yep.
The problem is you got to always beat yourself the next year, so we'll see. Tremendous job as always. Thank you. At this time, we are now at our second public comments portion. Anyone here to address the council regarding city business? Please
Yes,
step forward.
Good evening, Salah Ali, Dearborn resident. Just clarification on the fugitive dust and bulk storage ordinances. There were inaccurate information mentioned, one of which is the shutting of traffic, truck traffic on Eagle Street. That was the case. A couple weeks later or a few weeks after that was implemented, it was then allowed for semi-trucks to drive through Eagle Street.
For who?
On Eagle Street, truck traffic.
By ordinance is not allowed, and so
Well,
we
there's
can work with.
actual city signs allowing a left turn into Eagle. How many of you know that?
Well, you said the truck traffic. Left turn is
Semi-truck
is allowed.
into an ordinance that was passed to prevent truck traffic on Eagle Street.
Right, but you're saying the sign says trucks turn left?
Into Eagle.
Yeah, the sign says trucks? All right, well, let's get Director, can we get you up here? Do we have a sign that says the trucks
Is that
turn
an
left?
existing sign that was there?
No,
Or
this is a new sign.
Yeah.
A new sign?
Well, we have a new sign machine.
Made it illegal.
All sign, excuse me, Tim Hawkins, DPW Director. All sign requests that come to DPW are processed through the police department. So I'm
We're
not
happy
sure
to go
what
take a look at it.
Yeah, we can review that.
Mercer and
because-
Eagle, it's right there.
Yeah, we can review anything.
And it was
that
not
was
there
brought up.
before the ordinance passed.
Okay.
We're happy to
We
go
can
take a
look
look
into
at
that
it.
right away.
Okay. Jackie,
Another-
make sure you make a note of that.
Another thing is the bulk storage ordinance. There is there was headway in limiting the storage height to 20 to 25 feet.
25.
However, what's not being implemented and enforced, part of the ordinance, is ensuring coverage of those piles at high rate of speeds.
So the ordinance as drafted, what has to be covered has to be the carcinogenous materials. At the high rates of speeds, you have to have the appropriate measures that wet down the piles or contain the piles. And that's what's being submitted by the corporations as it pertains to how do they comply on high winds. Thus, we get the data download when they submit their wind reports. And obviously, we did the averages of what the miles per hour is of the winds and ensuring that their plan is on record internally, that their policies align with what the ordinance intends.
Yeah, the ordinance does not limit it to carcinogenous material. It's any stockpile up to 25 feet at a rate of 20 miles an hour or 10 miles an hour. I don't remember the specifics, but they must be covered. And you can refer to the ordinance. That was the ordinance that was passed. And I have record and images and video of high rate of speeds at the date in which those images were taken and the estimated height of those stockpiles. So they were in violations, but no one captured and enforced the ordinance. So I feel like such data in those instances aren't being captured such that we understand the impact or the holes within the ordinance that can be modified further to improve the environmental impact in that area.
Okay, any other questions or comments on that?
So I just want to make sure, go ahead.
Councilman,
Can I just ask for
Councilman
clar-
Hammoud?
I just want to ask for a clarification.
Go ahead.
Sure.
You said Mercer and Eagle Street, but they don't intersect. But on Eagle Street, I see signs, after we passed the new law, actually in 2021, or 2022, the signs went up that say no through traffic on the corner. So what?
Further down. So in between, that's what you're looking at is Wyoming.
Right, which is where they would enter Eagle. Okay.
Further down is Salina.
Okay.
And then after that is Mercer.
After that is Robert Street.
Or Robert, sorry.
Okay, so you were worried about Eagle and Robert?
So coming traffic from Robert was denied to get into Eagle, and now there's a sign that allows them to go south on Robert onto Eagle and make a left turn into their facility.
So that's what we're looking for. So Robert and Eagle. So okay.
So all right, thank you.
All right, yep. Anyone else here to speak to the council regarding city business? All right. Since that, we will close the public comment section. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Motion adjourned by Councilwoman Herrick. We are adjourned.